Okay, now we'll move to the third section, verbal and reading comprehension. Before I start the section, let me again give you an overview of how I would attempt the paper. Assuming the pattern of this section is the same as previous year, which means it has got in RC 4 passages and it has got in verbal 18 questions. So 4 passages, 16 questions, and verbal 18 questions, which makes it a total of 34. Now between the two, my strong area is verbal. Okay, this is my stronger area, and this is where I want to maximize. I think I'm decent in RC, but not excellent. And when I'm looking at this RC paper in general, I would look at 2 to 3 passages. So my strategy usually is to 2 to 3 passages, which means about 10 to 12 questions of RC, assuming I leave a couple of questions here or there. And in verbal, out of the 18 questions, I'm usually able to do something like 12 to 40, 15 questions. 12 on the lower side, 15 on the higher side. So which gives me something like a 22 to 27 kind of an attempt. A ballpark is 25 what I would aim for in this particular section. And in terms of sequencing, I'll typically start with verbal, go through all the verbal questions, mark the ones which I'm sure of. When in doubt, leave. Okay, so when in doubt, leave is the principle I follow primarily in the area of verbal. Uh, okay, and let me be more specific in sentence correction. In parajumbles, I will take my chances because I use the elimination of choices. Um, Now, what about the non-MCQs? The non-MCQs, I will mark an answer. I don't care. I will write an answer. I will always write an answer for the simple reason there's no negative marking. So there's no negative marking. So I will have to write an answer. It might be wrong. What do I have to lose? For example, in a parajumble question, if it's a non-MCQ, I know then there are 5 statements. I know there are 5 factorial or 120 combinations are possible. But if I don't mark an answer, I will definitely get a 0. If I mark an answer, I have a 1 upon 120, a negligible chance, but at least I will have that negligible chance. If there was a negative marking, this is not what I would do because there's no negative marking. My suggestion to students is that all non-MCQ questions you should definitely write down. In parajumble, if I am very sure that statement 3 and 5 have to be together in that sequence, then 3 and 5 are fixed, then the other 3 positions are what I have to look at fixing up. Okay, so my chances will definitely improve a little. But non-MCQs, my suggestion is do mark an answer, there's no negative marking, so you don't have anything to lose. Let me now start the timer. Okay, before I start the timer, let me erase. There's 3 questions. I will go through the verbal and RC section. I'll use the question paper again. I have the question paper with me, which I will use to go through the questions and the passages. I will want to make sure that the pattern is known to me. So if there's any change in the pattern, I want to know in advance. I don't want to discover it. So once I start the question paper, scan the paper is a standard policy for me. Okay. Okay, let me just start the timer and then 15 seconds we'll start the 285 is a passage. Passage 1. I will not go into what kind of passage, that I'll look at later. Then 86 to 89 is passage 2. Then we have a second passage till 89. I'm sorry. 89. Then the third passage is up to 93. So 3 passages are there. The length of all of them looks almost the same, and then 97, passage 4. So 4 passages, 16 questions in the RC passages, and 67 to 81. And okay, what about the remaining? Okay, 97 to 100 again are verbal questions. So this gives me a total of 18 questions of verbal and 16 questions of RC. Or in other words, this is a total of 34 questions. Okay, so we don't have to worry about it. It's a normal pattern of the paper, and we can just continue with the standard format. So in my case, I will look at doing the verbal logic questions first and then quickly move on to the other ones. Okay, and the timer has again vanished, so let me get the timer first. Let me get the timer first. And okay. Okay, question 67, a question of parajumbles. Four sentences given below A, B, C, D. C sentence need to be arranged from the choices, from the options. What's the matter? The okay, it's not working well. Pointer options. Okay, let me see. Four sentences are given below A, B, C, D. Okay, from the choose the one that does not fit the sequence. It was barely dawn and I was being driven to the airport by a woman who was confident and also eager to. It was barely dawn. I was okay. I need concession. After sleepless night. After sleepless night, I thought it best to maintain distance as she persisted with her explanations. Her story, however, hit a deadlock. Her story, okay, has to be the woman. As she abruptly stopped talking, perhaps realizing she was revealing too much to a stranger, a man, and I honestly did not know what to ask next. However, soon the intrigue started to get me. My efforts to nap had also proved futile. Okay, my efforts to nap had proved futile. After sleepless night, okay, after sleepless night, maintain indifference with the explanation. However, soon enough, so B D have to be together. B D, however, however, soon enough the intrigue started to get me. My efforts to nap had been too futile. So A or C should be the answer. These cannot be the answers. Her story hit that there was barely dawn. A has to be the head, should be ABD. Okay, so that means C has to be the answer. It was barely. Let me just verify. It was barely dawn in the airport who was confident of making it. Conversation after sleepless night. I wanted to maintain indifference, but the intrigue got me, and my okay, perfect. The answer should be C. Question 68. Same parajumble odd statement. The Chinese produce some of the finest Buddhist monuments, temples, and monasteries, and among the greatest Buddhist sculptures and paintings in the world. Turning from science and mathematics to the broader field of culture, the consequence of Buddhist connection on China and India were also extensive. From, okay. While these must, at one level, be seen as religious achievements, one would have to be quite bullish to see these works of art as nothing other than graphic religiosity. That Buddhism had an impact on Chinese literature cannot come as a surprise. Literature has not been talked about anywhere. We are talking about Buddhist scriptures, paintings, science, mathematics, in the broader field of culture. So we are talking about a generic thing, science, mathematics, broader field of culture, then getting into monuments. Yeah, I think it should be B, A, C. D does not seem to be finding a place. Let me just see. Science to and matter connection. The extensive. Okay. Okay, then Buddhist monuments, temples, Buddhist sculptures, paintings, and yeah, I think I'll go with choice D as the correct answer. Another question of the same type. Though aimed at mass market and largely female demography, they don't want to classify it as chicklet, which is a term they find derogatory to women. Who is this they? They. Is it fair to call their work chicklet? Again, it is fair to call their work chicklet. A label that comes with numerous preconceived notions and and not all of them flattering. For the sake of that inevitable classification that bookstores and publishers demand, what are authors like Narayan and Shirokda writing? Or should they be classified as a new hybrid genre, one that has retained the romance and but introduced with it a whole new layer that does not shy away from exploring difficult subjects and witty issues? So, okay. What are authors doing? Okay, though aimed at this mass market, they don't want to. Who's they? They is not very clear. Okay, but what about this? Their work is chicklit. Their work could be these two authors, the women authors. Shirokda writing. So I can look at C and B being together. Sake of publishers demand what the authors like, or should they be classified? Yeah, B D. I think C B. Like the end, is it fair to call them? They don't want to classify. Just they could even be the two ladies. Okay, but or should they be classified as new hybrid genre? C and D cannot be the answer. C and D definitely have to be there because it is again saying that should not be classified. We should look at calling it something else. So answer will be either A or B. Let me just go through it again. Though aimed at mass market and largely female demography, is it fair to call the work chiclet the label that comes with me? Okay. I will say B and D have to be together actually. B and D have to be together, so it should be CBD. I would say. I will go with A. Another question. Okay. Same type. These are by and large curable cancers but require long-term follow-up as well as a significant amount of expenditure. These are by and large curable cancers. While government should initiate a nationwide screening program for the most prevalent cancers, they invest in more affordable treatment centers. We too must meet our obligation to give cancer district with more information and less prejudice. Okay. There is more to this than meets this. There is more to this that meets the eye. Okay. But perhaps the saddest statistics are those of childhood survivorship, which in our country are almost half of those in the developed world. But perhaps the saddest one, I don't know where to start. Let me just go through it again. These are curable cancers, long-term follow-up. Okay. So can I say that D and A should be together? But perhaps the saddest part is okay, curable cancers, but require long-term follow-up. So long-term follow-up as well significant. So child survivors, long-term follow-up, significant expenditure seems to be okay. There's more to this. That means the government should initiate a nationwide screening program. Okay. I am not sure. I'm not okay. I'll leave the question. Okay. Okay. Parajumble. I'll just note that I have not done question number 70. So if I get time in the end, I will come and spend more time on this one. Question 70 has not been attempted. 71. Parajumble again. Uh, the silent disintegration of judgments as an alternative to more hard-known options of judicial overruling or legislature is a common phenomenon. Silent disintegration of judgments. Okay. In the United States, the Supreme Court under Justice John Roberts has narrowed precedents in many areas, including abortion campaign, finance, and affirmative action. The High Court then capitalized on poor reasoning of the judgments in Kaushal. The High Court then capitalized, okay, on poor reasoning of judgments in Kaushal to narrow the precedential value, holding that the Supreme Court rested significantly on the presumption of constitutionality and did not cast light on the subject matter of homosexuality in general. In the United Kingdom, the House of Lords gradually retreated from its controversial decision in Pepper 5 Hart, allowing parliamentary proceedings to be cited for purpose of statutory interpretation. These two judgments suggest that the imperfect legal reasoning adopted in Kaushal make it highly susceptible to harrowing. So these two judgments, okay, these two judgments. This is Kaushal is here and Kaushal is here, but it talks about these two judgments. Let me just look at C and A together. Capitalize on poor reasoning of the judgment in Kaushal to narrow the presidential, holding that the Supreme Court judgment rested significantly. Okay. Perfectly adopted in Kaushal makes it highly. So C and E should be together, but I'm still confused about these two judgments. Okay, so let me just see. C and E together is what I think, though not 100% sure. Okay, CE will be together. CE is not together here, together here, together here, together here. Okay, so CE have to be together. Okay, let me just go through it once more. If I can't get the answer, I'll think I'll leave and move on to the other one. Okay, okay, let me put it this way. Another thing which comes out is C and E, both of them are talking about a particular judgment, Kaushal, which I would assume it pertains to the Indian courts, Supreme Court, judgment that's homosexual. Okay, while this talks about the United Kingdom court and this talks about US. So I would say India comes together, US and UK separately. Okay. A is a generic thing. A is a generic thing. Okay, A is generic. This is UK. D is UK. This is US. So and these two appear to be India. So it could be B and D could be together, but in the end or in the beginning. Okay. So BD In the United States, okay, so you have a BD here, BDA, and you have a DB here. Okay, let me look at this BDA in the United States, then in United Kingdom. If I look at choice B, United States, United Kingdom, the silent disintegration of judgment, okay, and then comes the India part. Okay, what about this one? CA. I would. Okay, I am not sure. I will leave this question. Okay. Next question. While mounting criticism on the has while with mounting criticism has also come growing praise for his vision to place Turkey prominently on the global map. But is that really the primary concern of the Turks? Is that really something is the primary concern of Turks today, given that the majority of them, as polls show, find Mr. Erdogan's conservative values appealing? Are they really proud of these paradoxes? Okay, are he talking about the Turks or is he talking about someone else? They could refer to the Turks. Okay. So do we know? So we won't know till the next election. The authoritarian and Islamist rule indicates a reversal of the secular state structure that Ataturk had succeeded in ushering in. Yeah. Okay. Are they really proud of the paradox? Of the paradoxes? Are they really proud of the? What is the paradox? That the authoritarian Islamist rule indicates a reversal of secular structure. Okay. Okay. As polls show, find Mr. Erdogan's conservative values appealing. Okay. So they are finding conservative values appealing as per the polls. So as far as Erdogan is concerned, the authoritarian Islamist rule indicates a reversal of secular state. Okay. 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 The BC have to be together. Are they? This I don't have any doubts. BC will have to be together. So if I look at the choices, BC, 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 oh shit, BCD, 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 BCA. So is it BCA or BCD? That's what we need to look at. Okay. So let me look at BCD first. So we won't know till the next election BC, and what is BCA? BC with mounting criticism. Okay. BCA. Okay, BCA. Are they really proud of the paradox? With mountains has also come graying face for his vision. So A can come only after B because here it is his vision is has to be Erdogan. So A has to come after B. This is fine. This cannot be the answer because A is before B. This is a possible thing. A is come before B. So okay, let me at least I've eliminated one choice. Let me just read the statements now. E B C A D. Authoritarian reversal of secular structure. B says that it's concern. Okay. Turks. C proud of the paradox. A with mountain has also come, and D. Okay. And what about this E B C D A? E B C is fine. Okay. D A or A D. They won't be. So we won't know till the next election with mounting criticism. Okay. Are they really proud of the paradoxes? Because there's a growing praise for pleasing his vision placed in the okay. Okay. E B E A B C D. E A B C D. A is in any case E A. B has to come. Oh, this cannot be the answer. E has to come before B has to come before A because this talks about Erdogan, and so B has to come before A. So now between these two, E B C D A and E B, E B C is fine. E B C is fine. A D or D A, that is where we are stuck. So let me look at C A D. Are they really proud of the paradoxes? Mm. With mounting criticism, okay. The paradox is that he's reversing and he's follow and yet he's gaining growing pace. Okay, and I'm not sure, but I'll take my chance with choice A. I could be wrong. Okay. Um, Summary. Okay. It was a brilliant idea for Garsington Opera, which has an orchestra and chorus to hand, to invite Royal Shakespeare Company to stage an abridged version of the play A Midsummer Night Dream with Mendelssohn's entire score attached. Conducted by Douglas Boyd and directed by Owen Horsley, the result is a perfect marriage of words and music in the setting, with local wood skirting one side of the theatre that's nigh on ideal. Okay. Okay, so summary. The production of Shakespeare complete with live backing is as brilliant as they. I was talking about, okay, Garsington's opera joined hands with Royal Shakespeare Company. Yes, this is possible, okay, because we're talking about Garsington Opera. It's to invite. Okay, okay. So I will go out. I will remove this. I will go with B at this point of time. Possible. Okay. But this is incomplete. Actually, it is not giving me something more. Let's look at choice C. Garsington Opera, in collaboration with Royal Shakespeare Company, has created a new version of Midsummer's Night's Dream. Is it a new version? It's an abridged version, so it's not a new version. Royal Shakespeare Company's rendition of A Midsummer's Night's Dream with a live backing of metal score has reaped great results. It was a brilliant test, has reaped great results. So perfectly fine. D would be the answer. Another question of choose the option that best captures the essence of the text. Thaler is a brilliant scholar, endlessly curious, empirically inclined, and public spirited, but he is also the perfect spokesman for the for an approach that has come to be known as behavioral economics. He does not come across as someone lecturing others about their shortcomings because they feel like his shortcomings too. Okay. Thaler recounts a dispute at an academic conference with orthodox economics Robert Barrow. I said that the difference between our models was he assumed that the agents in his model were as smart as he was, and I assumed that they were as dumb as I am. Barrow agreed. Okay. So essence would be Thaler has turned his weakness into the subject of new branch of economics into a science. His weakness into the subject. No, he's not weak in the subject. So this cannot be the answer. Thaler is a scholar of behavioral economics. That's fine. A branch of economics which seeks to understand individuals as they really are, full of weaknesses. Yes, if I look at the last part, that is what it shows. Let's look at, I'll not eliminate choice B. Thaler is a brilliant scholar whose ability to laugh at himself has gained him popularity. No, not really. He's not gained popularity because of his ability to laugh at himself. Thaler's brilliance lies in his ability to identify with the subject of the study. With the subject of the study, I will go with choice B. I don't think this is right, okay, because yeah. Okay. Next one, 75. Again, choose the option that best captures the essence of the text. The thought that bacteria or inflammatory chemicals released by immune cells in the gums can enter bloodstream and influence the behavior of other tissues or organs is known as mouth-body connection. In the past decades, there have been an explosion of new research linking oral health to illness such as type 2 diabetes, cancer, and heart disease. The most likely explanation is inflammation, the same heat, swelling, and discomfort you experience when you stub your toe or get an infected splinter. Only in this case it isn't switched off. Such chronic inflammation can be damaging to cells and the DNA they contain. Okay, to avoid diseases like essence of the text again. One must take good care of teeth and gums. This is being very narrow. This is a very narrow interpretation. So scale has been reduced. Incorrect. A mouth-body connection exists which can lead to inflammation and hence can damage important cells. Possible, though it does not look like complete, can lead to inflammation. Okay. Okay. Choice C. A lackadaisical approach to dental care could cause diabetes, heart disease, and cancer. Okay. And the last one, people should not underestimate how the body will react when the mouth is neglected. People should not underestimate. Okay. This is going beyond the scope. In fact, the answer should be either B or C. Let me have a look at both of them again. We'll quickly go through the paragraph again. Is known as mouth body connection. Past decade, there has been explosion of research linked to this. Okay. Okay. That it can cause so many things. Linking oral health to this thing. The most likely explanation is inflammation. You get swelling, etc. Mouth body connection exists, which can lead to inflammation and hence can cause damage. A lackadaisical approach to dental care could cause diabetes, heart disease. This seems to be the right one. This is very open ended. While the passage is only looking at specific, the example which is given, such as, okay, so such as these is may, but in when you look at B, it is talking about all possible things and can damage. I will go with choice C because B, the scope seems to be increased. In Philippines, a study found that workers who work both for piece rate and a flat wage ate 25% more food on the day before they worked for piece rate. Okay. Which of the following is the best justification? The best justification for eating more when there is work for piece rate. Okay. Flat rates are lesser than piece rates. No. Flat rates are higher than piece rates. This cannot be the answers, these two, because they don't tell me why they are uh, eating more. There's an inverse relation between the amount of food one eats on the previous day and the amount of work one can do the next day. Inverse relation means more food you eat, less you will be able to work. So if you eat more food on the previous day, less you will be able to work. Choice C cannot be the answer in this particular case. So I will eliminate. This is going making it is illogical. So D should be the answer, but let's have a look at it. There's a direct relation between the amount of food one eats on the previous day and the amount of work. So when they're working for piece rate, they eat more so that they can work more next day and earn more. So piece rate, this should be the answer. Which of the following option justifies the author's view? Okay. Stampedes during religious festivals are quite common in India. Over a dozen instances of plebeians being trampled to death have been recorded in independent India, and the common thread running through every such tragedy is the utter failure of the authorities and the public alike to learn any lessons from the previous disaster. Which of the following option justifies the author's views? The mistakes made by the authorities are similar in nature with each disaster. Yeah, they are not learning from the previous lessons, so the mistakes must be similar. Okay, so A can be the answer. Let's look at choice B. Public needs to be involved actively in crowd management to avoid. This is changing the scope of the passage. A common feature to religious festivals is crowd management. Again, this is very, very generic. Religious festivals are very common in India and attract large crowd, not not connected to the passage, out of scope. We're talking about which of them justifies. This justifies the author's view. Okay. Okay. Now we have, so the following mitigates the effectiveness of the law mentioned. Effectiveness. Okay. India is perhaps the only country in the world to have such a system where it is punishable by law to charge a price higher than the printed maximum retail price. So it is the only country to have a system where you will be punished if you charge more than the MRP. Which of the following will mitigate the effectiveness? To mitigate the effectiveness, if you are allowed to charge a price which is higher than the printed price. Okay, let's look at the choices. It is not illegal for the shopkeeper to sell article at the price offered by the customer, even if it is greater than. So if the customer is willing to pay a higher price, then it should be, so it will mitigate the effectiveness of, yes, this has to be a part of my answer. So A is here, A is here, not here, not here. So C is not important. I just need to choose whether B is possible. It is not illegal for a shopkeeper to sell an article at a high price in absence of an MRP. It is, but if there's no MRP, there's no price, then there's nothing. High and low are subjective. So we have, so which means in the absence of MRP, effectively it is in the absence of MRP. So because if MRP is not there, the law is not there. If the law is not there, then there's nothing to discuss. So B should not be the correct answer. I will go with choice A. It may be largely impossible to avoid getting bitten by a mosquito unless and otherwise one can remain nearly invisible and have a cool body temperature. The following inferences can be drawn from this statement. Possible to get bitten by mosquito, avoid. So you will be get bitten by mosquito unless you are invisible or have a cool body. Okay. Only visual and can be drawn. What inferences can be drawn? Okay. Only visual and thermal signs guide towards the host. I think it can be right, but I'm uncomfortable with the word only. Visual and thermal, because there could be others also. Okay. So let's look at the next one, because this is visual and this is thermal. But is it only? I don't know. There are very few ways for hosts to avoid being bitten by this. Very generic. Mosquitoes are attracted to certain hosts irrespective of what they do. Again, very generic, beyond the scope. Mosquito use visual and thermal signs to locate a host. So the difference between choice A and D is, here I have only, here I don't have only. So it is giving me scope. And what does the passage say? It does not say that these are the ones. So I will go with choice D. Question 79. D is what I will go with. Okay, Parajumble. No idea. No choices given. No choices given. Okay. Another question. Two questions of Parajumble and then no choices have been given. So let's see what the answer can be. Okay. The further news that this book has been chosen, and was being pushed by Book of the Month Club, though It occasioned surprise was unpleasant because it seemed to herald one of those instances when unusual talent of the sort really popular receives recognition and a great tangible reward. George Orwell in his critical writing shows imagination and taste. His wit is both edged and human. The news that he has written is this book, the news that he has written, is it George Orwell? Sorry, the news that he has written a satirical allegory telling a story of a revolution by farm animals against their cruel and dissolute master and their subsequent fortunes, or like smell of roast from a kitchen ruled by a good cook and the end of a hungry morning. Okay, George Orwell is here. Okay, so George Orwell and he, so possibly two will have to come before three. So two will have to come before three, whether they are connected or directly or later is we'll look at separately. Uh, Okay, there are times when a reviewer is happy to report that a book is bad because it fulfills his hope that the author will expose himself in a way that permits a long deserved castigation. Okay. Few writers of any period have been able to use English language so simply and accurately to say what they mean at the same time and at the same time mean something. This is a difficult one, but I will start by saying 2 and 3 have to be together. George Orwell's critical writing, his wit, as gentlemen. Okay, so 2 and 3 should be together is what I'm looking at. But what are the others? The news, further news that book has been chosen has been pushed to okay, okay. Further news that it has been chosen book of the month. Okay, what about 4? There are times when reviewers, so we're talking about the reviewer. Till reviewer is something which will probably get connected to 1. 1 and 4 will get connected. What about 5? Few writers have been able to use the English so simply and actually what they mean at the same time means something. 5. So 5, where do I fit in? Few writers. Actually, coming back, 2 and 5 seem to be a better connection. Critical writing shows imagination and taste. His wit is edged and women. Few writers have been able to use the English language. So it could be 523, it could be 253. Okay. I am not sure. Let me take my chances with this thing. Let me just take my chance. So 2 and 3, or so is it 2 5 or 2 3? That's the key thing for me. 2 5 or 2 3. 2 has to come before both of them. So let me this talking about in general an author about that is what he can do, and then a specific book is coming or his author, and then I think it will be 253. Now we have one has to come after because this book we are talking about this book which is this satirical allegory. Few writers. Okay, 253, 1 4 or 4 1. 1 for this book, spiritual allegory, and this book. Few writers 3 1 are connected. What about 4? Just to be sure, there are times when the reviewer is happy to report the book is bad. 4 could come in the beginning also, by the way. 4 could come here, could come here. Because we are talking about the reviewer, but the reviewer is something push. Not sure where 4 will come. Okay. But that's okay. I have to mark an answer because there are no negative marking, so I will just mark it and move on. Another question, same difficult question. In a scenario, Uber may not even have got all the dope on Yadav, even if it is it sought this information. Even if it sought this information. So this information. There are also several specialized agencies which are hired by major private corporations to get the boy. There are several specialized agencies. Each of these reports cost 3,000. Okay. Agencies concerned many stumbling blocks in the form of bureaucratic indifference and hostility. So 2 and 4 seem to be connected. Ultimately, they managed to get only half-baked police reports. They managed to get only half-baked police reports. Okay, so I will say 2, 4, 5. There are several agencies. The agencies concern many stumbling blocks. Ultimately, they get the report. Okay, but they pass on to hiring them because they have no option. Okay, each of these reports, Okay, each of these reports could come after 2, it could come after 5. In such a scenario, Uber, okay, Uber is not connected, so Uber in such a scenario, Uber will have to be in the end. Okay, 1. So 2, 4, 5, 1 are fine. Where do I place 3? Each of these reports, they give half-baked police reports. They give half-baked police reports is 5. So I will go with 2, 4, 5, 3, 1. Okay, 82, 85 again is RC, but I still have another 4 questions of this part, which was in the end verbal logic. Then I'll go through the 4 RC passages. I'm going a little slow today. That would be means I'll have to look at only 2 passages because the speed which I am working with is not up to the mark. Okay, 97, 90, passage 96, 97. So 3 questions. Sentence correction. Identify the sentence part of that correct in usage grammar. If you tried, you also likely, if you are tired, you are also likely to feel frustrated, impulse, and a bit miserable. If you are tired, you're also likely. If you are tired, you are likely to feel frustrated. Also likely. A seems to be an issue. Let's look at the next one. Sleepiness is also often accompanied by finding it hard to remember things, an ability to concentrate, and a tendency to bump into things. Okay. Thank God there's a cure even on the busiest days. It's the midday nap. It's a midday nap. Okay. If you are tired, you are likely to feel frustrated. You are also, the word also is incorrect. I will say A is definitely incorrect. So this cannot be the answer. This cannot be the answer. The answer will be AB or AD. Let me look at both of them. It's the midday nap. It's the midday nap seems to be fine. Okay, so let me say this cannot be the answer. The answer has to be in choice A. Let me quickly look at sleepiness. We are finding it hard to remember things. An inability to concentrate and tendency to bump into things. I can't find an error in B, but among the choices, I'm very sure D is correct and A is incorrect. So I'll go with this choice. 98, 99. The best part of my job is seeing people who start out unfit and overweight and go on to become healthy and strong. The best part of my job is seeing people who start out unfit and who start as unfit. Okay, I'm not sure, but let me just see. And go on to become healthy and strong. Okay. They often say, I couldn't have done it without you, but the truth is they have done it by themselves. That they often say, I couldn't have done it without you, but the truth is they have done it all by themselves. This seems to be okay. I can't control how much one eats at the end of each day or give them the drive to push that extra weight. I can't control how much one eats at the end of each day or give them drive. Okay. D. You can't stop people once they are adults. You can't stop people. Okay, D cannot be the part of my answer. That does not help me much. So we are stuck with A, B, C. Let me quickly go through the 3 of them again. The best part of my job is seeing people who start out unfit and overweight and go on to become healthy and strong. I am not sure about this, but it could be. Let me look at the others. They often they often say, I couldn't have done it without you, but the truth is they have done it all by themselves. Okay. I can't control how much one eats at the end of, or give them. I don't know. Okay, I'll skip this question. I asked my mother and Aunt Mary about their approach, and it's the same. I asked my mother and my Aunt Mary about their approach, and it's the same. Okay. For Mary, it's obvious. You want to eat something that is fresh, cooked just right, arranged with purpose. Okay. There's nothing worse than a grey boiled meat. There's nothing worse than a grey boiled meat. C is definitely okay. So C should not be a part of my answer. Okay. That means AD or BD. Okay, we need to look at both of them. D is there in both of them, so D is definitely wrong. That means D is incorrect usage. So I will not worry about it at all. Let me see between A and B which should be the answer. I asked my mother and Aunt Mary about their approach, and it's the same. Okay. B says for Mary, it's obvious. You want to eat something that is fresh, cooked just right, arranged with purpose. Sorry. Don't know. So let me now quickly go through the RC passages. I will open the question paper, the physical question paper with me. Quickly look at the RC passages and then decide which ones to attempt. Okay. Question 82 to 85. Just for reference, question 82 to 85 is New Testament. Okay, something that I understand. Gospel of John, etc. I will find it easy to read. The time I have only two passages. Second is color. Have you used symbolic statements? Color is also New Testament is fine. Color is 86 to 89. Okay. Roman Polanski. Okay. Movies. Use of colors in movies seems to be the focus. Okay, this is also fine. Third is 90 to 93 is demand pull theory, but okay, the first two passages are about a page long. The third passage 90 to 90 demand pull theory, inflation, most obvious government spending. Okay, something about economics, it's a topic which I understand. Lengthen, lengthy, it is more than a page. And then we have fourth one is DNA. DNA is medical. Let me just not worry about the medical one. Let me choose the first three passages and then go ahead with it. Okay. Okay. Let me do the first one and then come back to the economics one. Let me quickly go to first is 82 to 85, 86 to 89. 82 to 85. Let me do the color one first. Okay. Okay. Color has been used to make symbolic statements in cinema since the days when talkies were tinted, toned, and hard colored. From the Wizard of Oz with its vibrant Emerald City and Yellow Brick Road to the dramatic and the groundbreaking use of color in Gone with the Wind, the most famous early Technicolor films harness the power of color not only to stimulate the senses but to enhance and express the themes of the story. Throughout cinematic history, the tradition of color storytelling thrived. In 51's Streetcar Named Desire, director Ilya Kazan used color to convey themes of class and superficiality, dressing characters as a lower class and vibrant hues to symbolize their rise to power. In the case of former, and using Blanche DeBou's love of color as a metaphor for her desire to gloss over life's gritty realities in the case of latter. In 68, Roman Polanski explored the relationship between color and Christianity, dressing his protagonist, Mia Farrow's Rosemary Woodhouse, in white for purity, yellow hope, red martyrdom. In 79, Apocalypse Now, Francis Ford Coppola lashed the audience with deep red napalm flames, enveloping green jungle foliage and foreboding pitch black of Colonel Cook's lair, all oversaturated to increase the claustrophobia and sense of death. In 90s, Shyamalan's Shyamalan first revealed his signature use of color symbolism in The Sixth Sense. For example, village pops of red show up in every scene where living characters connect with the dead. After 2002, acclaimed movies used color as a broad storytelling device in Christopher Nolan's Memento. Color sequences contrast with black and white to mark a simple differentiation between chronological and reverse chronological events in otherwise complex and brain-teasing tales. In Steven Spielberg's Traffic, each of the three stories strands has its own palette. But since the turn of the century, there has been a shift. With the rise of superhero blockbusters, action-packed celebrity vehicles, cinema seats have been filled at the expense of subtlety. Craft of color has been relegated to independent movie makers, while mainstream go for 3D enhanced. Color storytelling is far from passe. Okay, it's still prevalent. However, from the comfort of our sofas, we have watched ambitions of small screen creativity explode. After competing broadcasters into new players, Netflix and Amazon have lured movie stars and directors into TV contracts. The limitations and stigma of serial television have been obliterated. Those early adopters who devoured Lost, The Wire, and The Sopranos have been rewarded with a boom in box set culture, and this eruption in television scope, reach, and budget can be right. Okay, taking take Breaking Bad. Gilligan's cult behemoth depicted downtrodden, cancer-stricken teacher's transformation into a pork pie hat-wearing drug overlord using hot color to punch Walter White's modern-day fable into living rooms across the globe. From the acid, from the acid yellow of the meth maker's jumpsuit to the bright blue shade of the product itself, Walter's epic fall into criminalities characterized by larger-than-life color. Gilligan's use of color continued in the spin-off series Better Call Saul, with fans picking up on a fire and ice code. Colder colors used in scenes that convey themes of authority and respectability. Okay. Question 86. Which of the following can be best said to express the central idea of the passage? Okay. Use of color as a symbolic statement in cinema is not new, though the degree and type of symbolism, yeah, this is possible. Thematic use of color in cinema is nothing new, but explosion of concept of is okay. This animation of stories. This now reducing the scope to television, so this cannot be the answer. So reducing the scope to scale. Yeah, scale. Each director has a special way in which he, again, this is very narrow. Color symbolism in movies has been used to predict the nature of scenes, to not to predict the nature of scenes. I will go with choice A. Okay. According to passage, color has been used to symbolize all of the following except for, okay, it has been used to symbolize death. The Shyamalan movie and that Naplan fire was there. To symbolize relationship between religion and main character, yes, it was there. It was talked about Christianity. To symbolize change in someone's social power status. Social power status was there, I think, in the beginning it was there. I'll just go back and check out. To symbolize someone's longing to artfully mislead the. I, let me just go back. Uh, Check out. Answer could be out of these two. It was at the beginning. I think the first couple of paragraphs somewhere was there. Throughout cinematic history, yeah, dressing characters of a lower class in vibrant hues to symbolize rise of power. Okay, so this is broadly which is said there. And using Blanche Reveal's love of color for her desire to gloss over life's gritty realities and the case of later. To mislead, so this is also there, and this is also there. These two is what I read. So which one? This I'm very sure of. So let me just look at religion, or was religion mentioned? It was mentioned. I remember Christianity was mentioned. Let me just go back. Where is it? Yeah, in 1968, Roman Pulaski explored relationship between color and Christianity, dressing his Mia Farrow, Rosemary Woodhouse in white, yellow. No, so he's linking white to purity, yellow to hope, and red to martyrdom. But is he really doing it? Is it color with Christianity or color with these parameters? I will possibly go with that. It is not color with Christianity. Let me just go to the choices again. A is definitely not the answer. This cannot be the answer. Yeah, while I'm not 100% sure, I will go with choice B because Christianity has been mentioned, but the relationship was with the color was to the attribute purity, hope, martyrdom. Okay. Which of the following option would the author agree with most? Color can even be used to depict symbolize from other senses in movies and TV serials. Okay. Okay. Color symbolism is an outdated idea. No, incorrect. The symbolic use of color in the small scene only set to rise at a trend. He will possibly agree with this also, but is with the most. Okay, let's agree most. Color has been used to help the viewer find a common thread in a complex storyline. Yes, this is right. Color can even be used now, but if A is C is right, then so should A be. A could also be right. If I look at most, and if I look at the passage, symbolic use of color in small screens only set to rise as a trend. Color can even be used to depict stimuli from other senses in movies and TV serials. Okay, I will leave this question because I am not sure of the answer. Okay, 89. Which of the following option would complete the author's explanation of the fire and ice code? Fire and ice code. Let me just go back and read that clause in the end. Yeah, Gilligan's use of the colorful continued in spin-off series Better Call Saul, with fans picking up on a fire and ice code. Colder colors are used in scenes that convey themes of authority and respectability, and so hotter colors are what do they represent? Colder represent authority and respectability. Okay, so hot should be opposite of that. If this is so, we should be looking for opposite of authority and opposite of respectability. Authority and respectability. Authority and respectability. Crime and corruption. Hotter colors convey maybe may convey a feeling of vibrancy. Okay, hotter colors may be assured. No, hotter colors. We are not talking about maybe out here. Let me just quickly. Hotter colors are used, seen that convey. So it is not maybe, they do. So choice A could not be right. A I will because of the word maybe. I mean, hotter colors convey. That's fine. A feeling of vibrancy, and but it was authority and respectability. So nothing against authority or respectability out here. So this cannot be the right answer. Hotter colors are associated with crime and corruptibility. Corruptibility is against respectability, so could be the right one. Hotter colors always bring out aggression in the viewer? No. Among the choices, I will go with choice C. Okay. Okay. So next one, I think I've done this passage. The next was the demand pull, and the what was the first passage? Let me just go back and check the question paper. The first passage was New Testament. Let me do New Testament first, and then quickly try and go through the question of the that one passage of economics, because economics something I understand. I will know I will be able to do a couple of questions even without reading the passage. Okay. 82 to 85, 13 minutes to go. Gospel of New Testament compiled somewhere between AD 50 and 110, gets older every year. They also stay strikingly new. Strikingly new, fueled by literally experimentalism that keeps them alive not as religious artifacts but piece of writing. The Gospel of John stands apart, no mention of nativity or the breaking of the bread at supper. But even though the synoptic Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke share many of the same incidents of pericopes, these short self-contained passages appear in different order in each one. In Matthew, the pericopes of Sermon of Mount, for example, are gathered together in a single block. In Luke, they are separate. Each Gospel is therefore a reworking of a predetermined material for literary effect. Sounds familiar. Okay, the postmodern cut-up technique, as used by writers from William Burroughs to Julio Cortázar, is traced back to Dada experiments of the 1920s. Think again. The word pericopes comes from the Greek, meaning to cut around, placing the Gospels a mere proposition away from the cut-ups of 28th century. The resemblance to postmodern texts goes further. The pericopes are mashup of genres including exorcism, miracle stories, parables, sayings, prophetic and apocalyptic proverbs, instructions for church discipline, rules for communities. With little more typographical, the Gospels could again look like mosaic that might expect from Jan Egan. The ancient avant-garde techniques mean that the composite picture of Jesus and his activities are created at the expense of fixed realist portrait. The church did consider merging the four Gospels into a single linear story. The theologian compiled a version called the Diatron, made of four in the 2nd century, condensing all four Gospels into a single narrative known as the Gospel of Harmony. It did not catch up. Already by AD 155, Justin Martyr is comfortable referring to the Gospels in plural. He and the other church leaders preferred the narrative flexibility of four separate versions. To paraphrase Einstein, the story of Jesus should be made as simple as possible, but no simpler than that. The four perspectives of New Testament offer a prefiguration of another postmodern commonplace. There is no single controvertible truth. There is no single. Okay. This multiple Jesus story leaves space for interpretation between repetitions, revisions, and contradictions that punctuate four distinct gospels. It's a notion that glints with postmodern playfulness, undermine the traditional vision of evangelism and authoritative proclamation. Definitely announced by a herald. Instead of one truth is announced in four different ways. A sophisticated native narrative strategy takes advantage of the fact that unreliable narrators are simply more plausible because they are more recognizably human. Okay. Uncertainty and consistency better reflect the word as it is in 18 AD 100 just as now. The word gospel comes from Old English Godspell, a good story. The longevity and power of the New Testament Gospels are deeply reassuring for literary experimentalists. Structural experiments are worth pursuing because they work. If they add to a story the authentic textures or of lived experience, then the story may last for 2000 years. Okay. No wonder that the repeatable story of Jesus seems to invite attempts to tell it again. The ongoing 21st century renewal of New Testament is a constructive reaction to the original material. Don't be frightened. That's the literary message of the four postmodern gospels. Be bold writers, because there's more than one way to approach the truth. Okay, question 82. Which of the following can be inferred from the literary experimentalism that the author refers to in the first paragraph? Let me just quickly look at this word again. Yeah. They also stay strikingly new, fueled by literary experimentalism that keeps them alive, not as religious artifacts but as pieces of writing. Okay. Okay. So the following can be inferred. There is predetermined quality in the gospel with the structure having been worked out for a particular effect. No, the structures have not been worked out for particular. At least I did not get that feeling. So A is unlikely. The gospels of the New Testament have been placed through experimental literary techniques, and this has ensured long literary shelf life for them. There's a long literary shelf life, but have been placed through experimental literary techniques. I'm not sure. I will not mark this as the answer. Each testament is not like the other in terms of content and structure. The content is by and large the same, but the structure is there's minor variations, but I would not say this is the answer. The Gospels were written by four different, but structured by one. No, incorrect. So I don't know what's the answer. I'll leave this question. Okay. Which of the following has not been stated as a resemblance between Gospels and postmodern texts? Okay. A reworking of predetermined material for literary effect. A reworking of predetermined material for literary effect. Okay. I'm not sure, but let me go at the other choices. A mix of various sections, including miracle stories, parables. Yes, this is definitely there. This has been stated. Multiple perspectives on a particular story that opens mind to interpretation. Yes, this has also been talked about. Fourth, a typographical flamboyance that is particular to a few most typographical flamboyance. I can't remember this at all anywhere. So let me just look at choice A and D. A reworking of predetermined material. Was it predetermined material? No, it was not predetermined material for literary effect. Uh, yeah, this predetermined. So the material is the same for everyone, but let me just go back and look at I'm more inclined towards D, but I'm not able to eliminate choice A completely. So let me look at this again. Keep them alive, not released, but as pieces of writing. Okay, they get older every year. Luke, there already. Each gospel, therefore, reworking of a predetermined material for it. Each gospel is written there. How did I miss this? Each gospel is a reworking of predetermined material for literary effect. Okay, so now if that is the case, let me look to previous. Which of the following literary experimentalism? There's a predetermined quality with the structure having been worked for. Now this is what is reworking a predetermined material for literary effect. I think I will go with choice A out here. In question 82, I had left it. I will take my chance or no? I will take my chance in question 82. Okay. Why according to the passage, would inconsistency help in case of the New Testament? Because it makes it more believable, more human. It reflects credibility of the text as it indicates a lived experience, one that is more human. Yeah, it makes it more human. There's no single truth, and the gospel is also open to manifestation of many truths. There's no single truth and is open to manifestation of many truths. This is also possible. What inconsistency help? It reflects the credibility of credibility. Was one critical part. Okay, but this is a subset of this. Choice B looks like a subset of choice A. Okay, the gospel was to be read by many and hence was necessarily open for empty. No, it was cannot be. They help in ensuring longevity. That was not the case. Between A and B, I will go with choice A because B I think is a subset of choice A. Which of the following options would the author agree with? Most agree with? The simpler the story, the better the acceptance it will have. Okay. Yes, it talked about that Einstein. Make it very simple, but only that much. So maybe A, maybe not. But let's not eliminate it. Readers are willing to accept a story that has been written through experimental techniques. I'm not sure. Okay. With the author about it. Addition of authenticity of an experience may increase the longevity of a story. Uh, Possible. When I look at this question, possible authenticity, longevity, because the gospels are more appear to be more authentic. Hence, the 2000-year life. Circumvention is a technique and storytelling. Circumvention has not been talked about. Yeah. The readers of the story would be simpler the story. Let me just go back. I think it was simpler. If I remember, Einstein somewhere had mentioned. Let me look at this part. Change matter. Oh, I think I can't find where Einstein was. It was in Einstein context that was given as simpler the story, the better it is. I can't find that. Let me just to paraphrase Einstein. should be made as simple as possible but no simpler than that. As simple as possible but no simpler. That means there's a limit to simplicity. You cannot make it unendingly simpler. Addition of authenticity. Here I'll take a chance and go with C. Okay. 85. So 86 to 89. Now with 3 minutes to go, I will quickly go to that passage of yeah, economics. Economics. 3.5 minutes to go. It is talking about demand pull theory. I'll just quickly glance through it. Let me look at the choices questions first. Structural employment. It talks about structural employment, unemployment. I'm going to author comparatively common reason for life of inflation. Comparatively uncommon reason for rise of inflation. Highlights the prominent failings of Phillips curve model. Phillips curve. Okay, if I have to look at Phillips curve, what built-in inflation rise? Inflation will rise. Low GDP, high unemployment. High GDP, lower unemployment. High GDP, high employment will lead to inflation. I need my low GDP, high unemployment will means people can't buy, so it will lead to actually lower price instability. Has got nothing to it. Prevalence of structural employment. I think I'll go with choice A. This basic knowledge of economics says this should lead to higher inflation. According to the passage, I will verify this. Okay, so I'm looking at structural employment, uncommon reason, and Phillips curve model. Phillips curve I should be able to find. Phillips curves, uncommon reason, okay, and structural unemployment. Demand pull theory states that inflation accelerates when the economy to produce. Hence, the any factor that increase aggregate demand can cause. However, in the long run, aggregate can be real growth rate. Although much less common cause can be rapid decline of demand for money. Okay, although for inflation, another much less common, as happened in Europe during Black Death or in Japanese occupation. Much less common cause for inflation can be rapid decline of demand for money. Yeah, uncommon reason. Rapid decline in demand for money. Rapid decline aggregate demand. No, not this one. Steep fall in currency value. Demand of money. Why will it come down? If the currency. Okay. Rapid decline in amount of money in circulation. Stagnation. No, it's either B or C. Let me just go further. I'll come back to it later, just in case there's something else also. Effect of money and inflation is most obvious when government finance. Okay, let me find out Phillips curve. For example, monetary. Okay, Phillips curve is what I'm looking for because I know what it is. I want to see what the passage says. Okay, theory of just the central bank can influence money supply, expensive. Phillips curve. The fundamental concept of inflation analysis is the relation between inflation and employment called Phillips curve. This model suggests there is a trade-off between price stability and employment. Therefore, some levels of inflation can be considered desirable in order to minimize unemployment. Phillips curve model described in US experience well in 60s, but failed to describe the combination of rising inflation and economic stagflation. So stagflation is what it cannot explain. So let me just go there. Phillips curve, unemployment and inflation following disparate trends, no. Limitations, prominent failing is stagflation is not what it can. Steady rise in inflation with and then, yeah, this is what it is. Steady rate of inflation with slow. So inflation going up along with economic stagnation. So this is slow economic growth, but it should be ideal. Unemployment leading to increase in price stability. Those cannot be there. Uh, Observed increase in inflation in tandem with related decrease in no, it should be high. It cannot explain stagflation. I'll leave the question here. That's the end of the paper as far as I'm concerned. Uh, Not a very good performance in DI, LR, and yeah. So not a very good performance when it comes to DI, LR, and RC is still acceptable. I think DI, LR, I missed out a few things. I will upload separately a small video or a write-up on how on what my feelings are at the end of the paper. Thank you very much. Hopefully this has been helpful for you. All the best. Okay, now we'll move to the second section, LRDI. But before I start the LRDI section, very briefly about how I tackle the section. I would like to tackle the section. DI, LR, assuming 4 sets each of DI and LR, total 8 sets. My strong area is DI. and hence I will look at doing more of DI and less of less of LR. Okay. So between the two, I'll go with the stronger area of DI, and if there are 8 sets of data, I will definitely want to do 3 of DI and maybe 2 to 3 of LR. So I am looking at 5 to 6 set of 5 to 6 sets of LRDI questions, sets of data, which means something like 20 to 24 questions is what I would look at attempting, assuming that at the level of difficulty similar to that of CAT last year. Because CAT last year, the DI and LR sets were there was while each of DI and LR had one easy set, okay, and definitely one difficult set. Okay, the medium sets varied from 1 to 2, or let me say 1 to 2 out here, and this was also 1 to 2 each. Okay, so last year's paper of DI and LR CAT 14, that is, one could have attempted at least 2 sets, maybe 3 sets also, depending upon the slot. Okay, now I cannot assume that this will be the only pattern, because if I look at earlier papers of CAT, let's say 99, 2000 and the others, some of the questions had single questions also. So they could be single questions of reasoning. Okay. So they could be single question of reasoning also, in which case I will again change. But my default, as I said, would be to do about 3 out of 4. If it's an easy paper, all 4 out of 4 of DI, and just in LR. So in terms of time division of 60 minutes, I will look at doing something like 30 minutes each. But it is possible that this could go up to 35 and this could get restricted to 25, because I want to do more of DI and less of LR. So that's a broad framework with which I would like to look at this paper. As usual, I will start the timer, and I have a physical calculator which I can use for the calculations. I also have the question paper, because I will start the paper with scanning all the sets. So I expect you to do the same, which means when you start the DI/LR section, click on the question paper button. Click on the question paper button, open the question paper, go through all the sets of data and identify which ones you want to attempt. So that's the broad picture with which we will move. Let me erase this and start the timer, and then we can start the paper. Okay, so another 15 seconds, I will start. Okay, now I'll just open the physical question paper and quickly go through the DI and LR section to see what is it there. So set 1 is DI. It's a bar chart. So 1 is DI bar chart. Simple bar chart, looks easy. Numbers are not difficult and the data is not huge. Okay. Next one again is DI. It's a line chart. 3 lines are given there. Okay, line chart. Again, it is a percentage profit which has been given. Again, looks easy and should not be a problem. Only percentage profit given, revenue, expenditure, etc. are not given. 3 lines. So this means in many questions the answer could be insufficient data. But let's look at the third set. Okay, third is a new kind of data. I don't think I've seen this kind of data earlier. It is about 3 cities: Mumbai, Nagpur, Pune. Indian NRI. Investments made by group of investors comprising 120 Indians. Okay. Investments by group of Indians in different projects. For example, in Nagpur project, investment made by 32 Indians was in the range of 9 to. So the investment is not given, range of investment is given. That means this can have high calculations. Calculations could be high and estimates might have to be made. Averaging would definitely come in. These two are preferred over this. So I'll say this would be preference 1. This is at this point of time preference 2. The next one, fourth one is again a DI, multiple bar chart again. It talks about elections in 4 zones: east, west, north, south, zone of Goa. Table gives the data related to votes polled. Okay, has to be calculation, because we are talking about 4 zones, number of votes polled, male voters, female voters, ballot votes, etc. given. So calculation would be there, but does not look easy. So this again becomes my preference. Let's say this becomes preference 2, this becomes preference 3. So this is the way I would look at doing. Let's see what else do we have here. Next is LR. Okay, LR, it's 10 stones, 2 subjects each and about 7 statements. Okay, how many students? Either A or B, none of these. Okay, okay, 10 students. Arrangement question. Okay, arrangement kind of question. 2 subjects per student to be chosen. Okay, next is 4 friends sitting in a row and their children sitting in the row behind them. Again, arrangement. So 4 plus 4. The data is only 6, 7, 8, same as amount, but it seems to be shorter. In the previous question, the amount of data was higher, more words per line or per data. So this is one. Okay. So 4, only 4 plus 4. This should be slightly easier, most probably, as compared to this. Third is a mathematical reasoning set. Mathematical reasoning. I am inclined towards these kind of data set because it has numbers, and numbers I'm usually able to handle well. So out till now I will look at doing this and this. What's the last one? 6 countries: India, Japan, Norway. Again, an arrangement kind of question. Infant mortality, sex ratio, literacy rate, countries with highest. 7 questions. Okay. Okay. So let's say literacy rate, infant mortality rate, sex ratio, the data set. I will need to go deeper into this to understand if this can be attempted by me or not. So at this point of time, I will say 1, 2, 3 are what I'm looking at first of all. I think I can do this also, but after doing 3 sets of data, I will probably go look at these 2, or at least this one, because mathematical reasoning also had a large amount of data. Okay, so I will first do this one and then look at the others. This I am not sure I want to do because I find the data amount high, and this one again I am not sure at all. So let's start with the 3 DI sets first, and then I'll go to the other sets. Okay. Questions 35 to 38. 5 minutes, 4.5 minutes gone. India is a major producer of wheat and it exports some part of its production every year. The remaining part is consumed domestically. Okay. When the availability is less than demand, government is forced to import wheat in order to meet the required demand. If availability is equal to or more than demand, then availability becomes equal to consumption. Okay, if availability is equal to or more than demand, then availability is equal to consumption. Okay. Following chart gives the per capita availability. Per capita availability will be availability divided by population. But what is availability? Availability was given out here. Major producer of wheat, exports, consumed domestically. Okay, availability is production minus exports. Okay, next line, next chart, sorry. Here we have production and exports for 5 years. Previously we had per capita availability. Okay, production export for 5 years. Okay, so that means here we can get the availability. 1280 minus 520 will be the availability. Availability is production minus export. During the given period, India exported wheat at the rate of rupees 90 per kg and imported at the rate of 150 per kg. Great. So the data is easy to understand. Let's look at the questions. Which year consumption is highest? Which of the following years population lowest? Okay, some amount of calculation. This one, average annual increase in production. Oh, let me start from this one. Average annual increase in production of wheat from 2005 to 9. Let's look at the data. From 2005 to 9, production went up from 1280 to 1385. 1280 to 13, it is from 1280 to 1385. So increase of 105 on a base of 1280 over a period of 4 years. So, okay, there's none of these, so I would want to be reasonably accurate out here, but let's look at this one. So this becomes 4 ones of 4, 4, 25, 26.25. So this is 26.25. So I can say it's approximately 26 upon 1280. Since there's a choice called none of these, I will use the calculator. While I know it should be 12 point. Okay, let me put it this way. This should be greater than 2% because 2% will be equal to 12.8 into 2, 24, 25.6. Should be, this will most probably be the answer. But given that there's a none of these, let me be sure. So 26 divided by 1280. Yeah, 2.03%. So since I've already approximated instead of 26.25, I've taken 26. So this should be the right answer. Okay. Let me go to the other one. Which of the following years was population the lowest? Now when I'm looking at population the lowest, the data which is there is per capita and this thing. So per capita availability is equal to population is equal to availability upon population. So population will be equal to per capita availability. Oh, oops, sorry. Availability upon per capita availability. And we need to do it for 2006, 7, 8, 9. 2006, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So let's see population and availability for these years. So availability and per capita. Let me just get that data in place so that I don't waste too much time because okay. So 1280 minus 520, 12 minus 5 is 780 minus 20 760. Okay, 14 minus 6 is 8, so 770. 770. 1100 minus 300 is 800, 740. 13 minus 4 is 900, 910 minus 20, 890. So availability 13 minus 5 is 8, 810. So availability is here. So what's the availability? Which are the 4 years I want? 6, 7, 8, 9. 6, 7 are 770, 740. 770, 740. Okay. And 8, 9 are 890, 810. 8, these are the availability. This have to be divided by per capita availability. 6, 7, 8, 9, 29.4, 32, 32.4. 29.4, 32, 30, sorry, 32.4. I hope I've got these right. 6, 7, 8, what? 29.4, 32, 30.4, and 2009 is 35. Which year is the population lowest? Now let me just look at comparing these two. Between 760s, okay. Between these two, this is going to be higher. Numerator is increasing, denominator is decreasing, so this cannot be the highest because we are looking for the lowest population. Between these two, okay. Let me look at these two. 740 to 790, 890, and 832 to 35. This is a 10% increase. 740 to 890 is an increase of 150. 150 is 20%, so this will again be greater. So what about 740 to 810? That's an increase of 70. So 740 by 32, 810 by 32.4. This is going to be increasing by 10%. This is almost the same. So this cannot be the answer. So this is incorrect. The correct answer has to be choice A. Okay. Okay. In which year during the given period was the consumption of wheat in India as a percentage of exports the highest? Consumption of wheat as a percentage of export the highest. Data insufficient? No. Let me just confirm it. It said availability will be equal to consumption. When availability is less than demand, government is forced to import wheat. If availability is equal to or more than demand, then the availability becomes equal to consumption. So I will have to assume availability is equal to consumption. And we have 5, 7, 8. In which year during the was the consumption of wheat as a percentage of export the highest? Consumption of upon exports. In this case, I will have to assume availability upon exports, and the years are 5, 7, and 8. So 2005 will be 760 on 520. 760 upon 520. 2007 740 upon 360. 360. And sorry, 2008 890 upon 420 upon 420. Okay. Which is the highest? Okay. Again, this is greater than 2, this is less than 2, so this goes out. This, both of them are greater than 2. This is 2 plus, so let me just get this out. 2 plus 36 to the 72, 2 by 36 or 1 by 18. And this is 2 plus 42, 2 into 2 is 84. 84 plus 5, 89. 5 by 42. Obviously, 5 by 42 will be greater than 1 by 18, so the answer should be here. So 35 done, 36 done, 37. In 2007, if 20% of the demand was met by imports, okay, then what percent was earning of exports or less than or more than expenditure on imports of wheat? Okay, 20% of demand was met by imports. So availability was equal to 80% of demand. Okay, so availability would be equal to 80% of demand. Yeah, that means, and what is availability in 2007? 2007 the availability is 740, which is 740. So availability is equal to 740, and 20% of demand was imports. 20% of demand is imports, so this should be 1/4 of 740. Half of 740 is 350, 370. Half of that 185. Okay. And exports, what were the exports in 2007? 360. So 360 was the exports. So exports is 360, 360. So what is it? The revenue on account of exports. Exports were at 90 rupees. So what was that? 90 and 150. 90 exports and imports at 150. 360 into 90, and this is export revenue and this is import revenue, will be 185 into 150. Import expenditure, sorry. So let me just get this gone. 30, 3 5s are 15, 5 6 are. So 36 into 6 is 216 upon 185. So the increase exports is more than this. So export income is more than the import expenditure. So less cannot be the answer. The answer should be either of these two. So this -1 should be the answer. So that makes it 15 plus 16, 31 upon 185. 10% is 18.5. 20% will be 37. So this is less than 20%. Less than 20%, choice A. Let me get the calculator also back. I think I have done all these. Sorry, the timer is back. So let me get the timer back first. Then I will restart the test, continue recording. The timer, I don't know what's the problem. So 45 minutes gone. Yeah, we have the timer now. Okay. So 45 minutes gone, 15 minutes, 5 minutes for this and 10 minutes for the set of data. I think I've taken a little more than what I should, but let's go back to the set. Profit percentage of 3 companies. Oops. Pointer options. Profit percentage of 3 companies, IBE, Dabong and Cintra during the period 5 to 10. Okay. Profit is revenue minus expenditure. Profit percentage is profit by expenditure and 200. Okay. Nothing else given. Okay. So let's look at the data. Questions: revenue of IBE increased. Okay. What is the next question? Was equal to expenditure of Cintra in 2006. Profit of IBE. This is going to be calculation intensive. Which year was the percentage increase or decrease in profit of the company with respect to the previous year, the highest? Okay. The 2, revenue of the bank increased by 25%, and then what is the approximate? Okay, I think there's nothing specific about any question. Let us just start doing in the same sequence. Revenue of IBE in 2000 increased. Okay, revenue of IBE in 2008 increased by, okay, so if I assume this to be 100, this will be 140. What was the percentage change in profit of IBE for the same period? So what is the profit percentage for IBE for 2007 and 2008? IBE is the diamond. 2005, 2006, 2007 is 40 and 2008 is 25. So 40% and 25%. So 2007 profit percentage was 40% and 2008 it is 25%. Okay, what is the percentage change in profit? So profit of 2008 upon profit of 2007. So if 40% is the profit, 25% is the profit percentage in 2008. That means margin will be 20%. So profit in 2008 will be 20% of 140, which is equal to 28. And profit in 2007 will be 40 by 140, 2007 of 100, okay, which is 2 by 7, which is equal to 200 by 7. 2 by 740, yeah. So 2 by 200 by 7 will be the profit out here. So the ratio will be 28 percentage change in profit. So we have to do this minus 1. 28 upon 200 by 7, which is equal to 28 into 7, 140 plus 56, 196 upon 200, which is equal to 98 upon 100. So it's a 2% decrease. Revenue of IB in 2007 was equal to expenditure of Synthra in 2006. Okay, so revenue, expenditure, IB and Synthra. Okay. Profit of IB in 2007 exceeded that of Synthra by 24 crores. What was the expenditure of IB in 2007? Okay. So we are saying revenue of IB in 2007 was equal to expenditure of Synthra in 2006. So IB 2007, Synthra 2006. Equal to expenditure of IB. If I say this is 100, this should also be 100. Okay. Let's exceed by 24 crores. So let me just take them in. If this is 100x, okay. What was the expenditure? So I need to first find IB profit and in 2007 and Synthra profit in 2006. So IB 2007 was 40%. IB profit percentage is 40% out here, and Synthra 2006. Synthra is a triangle. Triangle in 2006 is 20%. Okay. Okay. Now what was the difference is 24 crores on the profit. Is the profit of IB in 2007. Okay. Okay. So 40% is the profit here. That means margin will be equal to 2 by 7, 40 by 140, which 2 by 7. That means expenditure will be 5 by 7. Okay. And or let me put it this way: the amount of profit amount will be equal to 200 by x by 7. Amount of profit in 2007 will be, okay, actually this I could have picked up from the previous question. And what about this one? 20% is the profit percentage expenditure, so it is 20x. So the question saying 200x by 7, 200x by 7, profit of IB in 2007 minus profit of Synthra should be equal to 24. So this 2007, yeah. So this becomes 200 minus 140. This is 60x. 24 into 7, 140 plus 28, 160. 160x. Is it fine? Yeah. 60x is equal to 160 by x out here. So 200x minus 140x should be equal to 24 crores. Okay. So 200 minus 140 is 60. 60x, so x should be equal to 16 by 6, which is equal to 8 by 5. So x is equal to 8 by 5. What is the expenditure of IB in 2007? Expenditure of IB in 2007. Okay. Expenditure of IB in 2007. This will be 5 by 7. Okay. 500 by 7. So it should 5 by 7x. X is equal to 500 by 7 into 8 by 5. This is 800 by 7. I've got something wrong. I'll skip this question, come back to this later. I think I've got something wrong. Some calculation mistake has definitely happened. Okay. In which year was the percentage decrease in the profit of the company with respect to the previous year? I don't have profit percentage. I don't have this one. This should be insufficient data. Okay. Question number, the one which I skipped was question 40. Let me note it down. I'll come back to it later. Question number 40. Okay, I have noted it down on a rough sheet of paper. The revenue of the bong in 2007 increased by 25% over the year 2006. So 2007, 2006, revenue 125 over 2600. Okay, profit percentage 2006 and 7, this is the bong. Okay, 2006 and 7, the bong profit percentage is what I need. The bong is the square. 2006 is 25 and 2007 is 30. 6 and 7 are 25 and 30. Yeah. 2006 is 25% and this was 30%. I hope I have not mixed up. Let me just check once again. 2006 was 25%, 2007 is 30. Yeah, the bong only. Yeah, perfect. Okay. What is the approximate percentage change in expenditure? Again, if the profit is 25%, margin will be 20%. So amount of profit is 20 rupees out here. Amount of profit. And this is 30%, that means margin will be 3 by 30 by 70. Or it will be uh, amount of profit, yeah, 30% is 3 by 7 of 125. Okay. What is the approximate change in expenditure? Why am I calculating this? So expenditure will be 80 and margin is this, so expenditure will be 4 by 7. So it is 4 by 7 of 125. So expenditure should be 4 by 7 of 125. Profit 3 by 7. Yeah, expenditure should be 4 by 7. So 4 by 7 of 125 upon 80 minus 1 is what we have to do. So 4 ones are 4, 420, which is equal to 125 upon 140, which means it is a decrease first of all. So this cannot be the answer. This cannot be the answer. Oh. Huh? There's an error out here. What have I made? What mistake have I? 125 by 40. So the revenue is in 125. This is 100. Okay, profit percent is 25%. That means expenditure is 80. Margin is 25 is fine. Profit percent is 30%. That means margin is 30 by 70. So expenditure should be 4 by 7 of 125. I seem to be making some mistakes. There's a second mistake I am making in this. So let me just come back to this question later. 40 and 42. Let me. The revenue increased by 25% over 2000. That's fine. What percentage in change in expenditure of the bong? Expenditure of the bong. Okay, let me just look at differently. The revenue 125. Profit is 30%. Okay. So cost should be 70%. 33 by 7 is fine. 30 by 70 is the margin. Expenditure should be 4 by 7. I hope I've got the numbers right. 2007, 2006, 12500. Okay, and the bong 2006 and 2007. Maybe the bong is 25 and 2007 is 30. 25% and 30%. That's fine. 25% is 2006. 20% 80. What mistake I have committed? I'm just trying to get that in place. Profit is 3 by 7 is fine. Expenditure is 4 by 7. Okay, 4 by 7 of the revenue. So 4 by 7. So 125 into 4 is 500 by 7 is the expenditure. And the some mistake I have committed. Let me just skip. Let me not waste too much time out here. Okay, this was the third one. Okay, what's the fourth one? Let me just have a look at this one before I move to anything else. 4 zones in Goa respectively. So we have north, east, south zone. Total number of votes polled, number of valid votes, total number of valid votes. So valid female can also be calculated. Votes polled by female, so that can also be. Vote by female voters should not be less than votes polled by male voters in the zone by more than 5%. Okay, what are the questions about? Okay, I need the table. I will need to have the complete data, so this might require making a complete table. Yeah, I think this will. Yeah, let me make the table first. Okay. Because the numbers are easy, it should not be problem. So we have total votes, male, female, uh, polled, valid, polled, valid, polled, valid. Okay, let's look at each of these zones. North, east, south, west. Polled of 520, 633, 520, 663, 640, 690. Uh, then next data is, so I've done these 640, 690. Next data is valid votes 460, 611, 460, 611, uh, 586 and 636, 586 and 636. Okay, next is valid votes by mail voters. Valid votes by mail voters 235, 308. 235 will come here, 308 will come here. Then we have south zone valid mail 298 and 320. So 320. The fourth is votes polled by female 265, 323. 265, 323, 309, 337. 337. So let me just fill up the table. Votes polled by men will be 520 minus 265, 5 minus 255. This becomes 663 minus 323. That 640 minus 300 is 340. 640 minus 300, 340, 331. And then 690 minus 337. So 690 minus 300 for 390, 360, 360, 353. 353 plus 300, 653, 653, 660, 690. Okay, that's fine. Now this is valid votes by female. So 460 minus 235, 225. So this is 225. 611 minus 308. So 311, 303. 586 minus 298. 586 minus 300 will be 588 minus 300 is what I should do, 288. And 636 minus 337. 636 minus 337. 99. Okay, 637 minus 636 minus 37, 599, 299. Okay, this comes to 299. Now let me look at the question. How many developed electoral zones? In what was the number of, what number of valid votes as a person? Okay, let me just all of them in any case. Developed electoral zones, there were two. Number of votes polled by female voters should not be less than male voters by more than 5%. And at least 90% should be valid votes. At least 90% valid votes, and female should not be less than 5% of male votes polled. Okay. Let me look at female voters polled. So this part is okay. This is females are not less than while more than 5%. The gap should not be more than 5%. Female should not be less than. Okay. So this is fine. 340 to 323. Gap of 17, exactly 5% of 340. This is also fine. 331 to 309, 22. 10% will be 33, 5%. So south will not be a developed. Okay, so first condition is satisfied out here, not satisfied out here. Then oh, sorry. 331 to 309 is what I need to look at. So this is 22. Yeah, 22 is fine. Not less than 5%. 353 to 337, 16. 16, that means this is also less within 5% of 353. And the second condition was both male and female valid votes should be at least 90% of the respective votes. They should be at least 90% of the respective votes. So 10% of 255 is 25.5. So 25.5 minus this. So this is a valid zone. Okay. Okay, developed electoral zone. The next one is 220. Let me see. What was the second condition? Votes cast should be at least 90%. So this is fine. This is within 90%. What about this? For this is not. Sorry. This is not. North is not, because female one is not within within 90% gap of 40. So this is a gap of 32. Gap of 32 on 340 within 10%. This is fine. This is 20 with gap of this. So this is east is a developed electoral zone. South we are already eliminated. 353 minus 33. So 33. This is fine. 337. So this 38 within 10%. Okay. So is it coming out to be 1? Okay. Okay. I am not sure. I think let me just check once again, because somewhere I made a mistake. I think or be less than 4% of more. The votes cast should be at least 90% of the respective votes polled. I hope I have not made a mistake in the calculation part. I was not sure about the 99 part out here. 690 minus 353 is 337. 636 minus 320. Yes, 299 or something, which I was even at that point of time a little confused. So 336, 353, sorry, 636 minus 300, this should be 316. This is 316, that means 636, 353. Okay, this is a gap of 21. So this is there. So both conditions. So east and west. So answer should be 2. In how many zones was the number of valid votes as a percent of total number of votes higher for male voters as compared to that of female voters? Valid upon on polled higher for male versus female. So this is 20 upon 255, and this is okay, 225 upon 265. This is definitely higher. So north zone male is greater than female percentage of votes polled. Valid votes polled 235 and 255 will be greater than this thing. Okay. Now what about this 308? So this becomes 308 by 340 versus 303 by 323. Obviously this will be higher, so this cannot be. So while this is fine, this is not fine. Third one, 298 upon 331 and 288 upon 309. This also female seems to be better, but let me just confirm. 288 upon 2309 and 30298 upon 331. So this has gone up by 10. This has gone up by 22. So it's by about 6.66%. This okay. Okay, so 298 upon 331, 300 about 10 upon 11, 280. There's a gap. Yeah, this should be higher. So this cannot be the answer again. So what am I looking for here? Higher for male voters. Yes, higher for male voters. So this cannot be the answer. Yeah. Then this is 320 upon 33 upon 320 upon 353 versus 316 upon 3. Again, this will be higher. So it should be only the north zone which has only one zone which has come out. Yeah, one zone which has come out. Okay, so the answer here is 1. In which zone is the number of votes polled by male voters as a percentage of total number of votes polled in that zone the highest? By male voters as a percentage of total votes polled in that zone, the highest. Okay, and what's the next one? In how many zones was the total number of votes polled by female voters more than 25%? Okay, so which zones, how many zones are more than, let me do this one first. So polled is what we are looking at. What's the total out here? 9, 7, 16, 16, 3, 19, 5, 24, 24 carry 2, 6, 4, 10, 10 and 3, 13, 3, 6, 9, 12 and 1 third, 9, 12, 1234. So 1/4 of 1234 will be 309, 308.5. So 309 or above should be the ones. So 1, 2, 3, 3. 3. Running short of time. I don't think I'll be able to do anything much in this section. In which zone was the number of votes polled by male voters as a percentage of total votes polled in that zone the highest? Okay. Male voters upon total votes in that zone the highest. Okay, male voters upon zone the highest. Polled again we are looking at. So this is 250, north is 255 by 520. Uh, East is 340 upon 663. South is 331 upon 640. And West is 353 upon 690. This is less than 50%. Others are more than, so this cannot be the answer. This is more than 50% is fine. More than 50%, more than, this is again less than 50%. Okay, so 340 upon 6 is half of this 331, 331.5. So it's 8 point, more than 50% by 8.5 upon 663, and 320. This is 320 11 upon 640. Obviously, this should be the answer, south zone. Okay, let me just now, with about 22 minutes, let me quickly do one set of LR. The one which I was a little inclined towards was, no, not this one. Yeah, let me look at the children's one. Four friends, Clark and Steve Richards, are sitting in a row, not necessarily same, and their children, Clive, Jordan, Mark, Ken, are also sitting in a row behind them. Each child is seated directly behind his or her respective father. Each friend has exactly one child. All of them are wearing jackets, colors of which are among blue, brown, green, and yellow. No two friends are wearing jackets of the same color, and the same holds true for the children. No father is wearing jackets, and the same color is worn. No father is wearing the jacket of the same color worn. Okay, great. So we have case of uh, father son. Okay, so let's put it this way. You have the father here. You have the child behind the father, and we have the colors of their jackets. So color of the jacket, color of the child jacket, color of the father's jacket. Okay, and we have got four of them. So one, two, three, four. Okay, so okay, let me just keep jotting down the data. Clark's child is wearing the, okay, let me just put down the names because I will again otherwise get confused. The fathers are Clark, Sen, Steve, and Richard. Father is Clark, Sen, Steve, and Richard. And who are the children? Clive, Jordan, Mark, Ken. Clive, Jordan, Mark, Ken. Okay, now let's start putting the, Clark's child is wearing blue colored jacket. So let me put this way. I have um, Clark's child. CLK. Clark's child is blue colored jacket. Okay. Ken's father is wearing neither blue nor yellow. So Ken's father, so child comes here, father comes here, neither blue nor yellow. So blue and yellow are not being worn by the father. Okay. Steve is sitting immediately next to his friends who are wearing green and brown colored jacket. So Steve is the one of the father. So let me comment here. Steve is sitting on side of someone who's and sorry, uh, green and brown colored jackets. Green and brown. So it could be, these two are interchangeable. Steve on either side, he has a green and brown. Richard's child is wearing yellow colored jacket. So Richard child is wearing a yellow. So Richard cannot be yellow. Okay. Clark and Richard are sitting at the extreme end. So they could be here or here. So let me look at this one. Sen is not wearing a brown colored jacket. So Sen is not wearing a brown colored jacket. Mark is Sen's child. Okay, so Mark is here. This is the one. Child wearing the green colored jacket is sitting to the immediate left of the child who's wearing the yellow colored jacket. Now it's Sen. Yellow colored jacket. Richard's son had a, or daughter, whatever, has a yellow colored jacket. That means, so it could be the child with yellow jacket whose father is Richard, and to the left of him would be green. Okay, to left of him would be green. Okay, and Clark and Richard are sitting in extreme ends. That means Richard has to be here, and okay, has to be here. The child has to be wearing yellow, and this has to be green. Okay. Uh, so I've taken care of this. Richest child is wearing yellow colored jacket. This also I've taken. Okay, so Mark is Saint's child. Okay, we will come back to him. We need to place the others also. What else was there? Clark's child is wearing blue colored jacket. So Clark's child is blue. Okay. So blue, green, yellow, and what was the fourth color was brown. So brown has to come here. Okay. Now what about the parents? Mm-hmm. Okay. Child yellow. Okay. Steve is sitting on either side of Steve. There's a green and brown. So Steve could be here or Steve could be here. So if Steve is here, the other person who's Sen. So here I have also, let me say, Steve and Sen. So Steve comes here and Sen comes here. Steve is not wearing a brown, or it could be the vice versa. So if I put Steve here and Sen here, on Steve either side you have green and brown. So green and brown. So green cannot be here. So brown will have to be, sorry, green will have to be here, and brown will have to be there. So is there any confusion? Clark green, nothing there. Sen brown. Sen cannot be wearing a brown colored jacket. So Sen cannot be here. That means Sen has to be here. Steve has to be here, and on either side of them of Sen will be sorry, on the other side of Steam will be green and brown. So since Sen cannot be brown, this has to be green and this has to be brown. And so what are the colors left? The colors left here are green and yellow. Green and yellow. Green and no, green is already done. Brown, blue and yellow. Sorry, blue and yellow. So this cannot be blue because the sun out here is blue. So blue will have to be here and yellow. Okay, and what's the next one? Mark is Sen's child. His this I had already taken care of. Mark is Sen's child. Mark is Sen's child. Where's Mark here? Okay. Ken's father is not using blue or yellow. Okay, this also I've taken. This has gone. This has gone. Ken's father is not wearing blue or yellow. So blue and yellow cannot be here. Ken cannot be Ken's father. This is not Ken's father. This is not Ken's father. This is already occupied. So Ken will have to be here. So Richardson is Ken. So I have taken care of Mark and Ken. So what we are left is Jordan and Clive's. Clive and Jordan. Clive and Jordan. Great. Which of the following pairs does not contain the name who would be wearing yellow colored jackets? Yellow colored jacket. Yellow colored jacket can be worn by Clark and Ken. Or rather is being worn by Clark and Ken. So any answer choice which is Clark and Ken. So Clark and Ken. Who does not contain? So Ken is here. Ken is here. Clark and Ken not here. Clark and Ken not here. I missed something. Let me just go to the next question. Which of the following statements must be true? Ken is sitting immediately next to Sen's child. Ken sitting next to Sen's child. Where's Ken? Ken is sitting next to Sen's child. No. Statement 1 cannot be true. Statement 1 cannot be true. Okay. So this is wrong. This is wrong. So answer is either 3 or 2 and 3. Clive's father is wearing brown colored jacket. Clive's father is wearing brown colored jacket. Clive's father. Where's Clive? Clive's father could be this or this. Clive's father could be wearing a yellow or a blue colored jacket. So he cannot be wearing a brown colored jacket. Incorrect. So statement 2 is wrong. So wrong. So statement 2 is wrong. This becomes the answer. 14 minutes left. Okay, one more question. I think I'll be able to do one more set. How many of the following statements cannot be inferred with certainty from the color of Sen's jacket? Okay. Basically, can't say for sure Clive and Jordan's color and their parents. Parents of Clive and Jordan? Parents of Clive and Jordan, yeah. So I don't know Clive and Jordan. What are the colors and who are the parents? Clive Jordan. And who are the parents of these? So what were these Clive and Jordan colors? Blue and green. So this could be blue. They could be blue and green. either of them, and their parents are Clive and Jordan. Who are their parents? Either Clark or Steve. Clark or Steve. So Clark or Steve, and their colors are yellow and blue. So this is yellow and this is blue. Okay. Color of Sen's jacket is known. Okay. Color of Sen's jacket is known. So this cannot be the answer. Name of Clive's father we don't know. So this can be the, okay, let me put this. This cannot be the answer. This has to be part of the answer. Color of Ken's jacket. Ken's jacket we know, so this cannot be the answer. Name of friend whose child is wearing green colored jacket. Name of the friend whose child is wearing the green colored jacket. Yes, this statement again, I don't know who is wearing green colored jacket. It is Clive or Jordan, and who is the father. Okay, so four statement four also has to be a part of my answer. Name of child wearing blue colored jacket again. Okay, okay, and the last one is name of the Steve's child. Name of Steve's child. Okay, name of Steve's child. So this becomes 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me just confirm it because I've just transposed data from there. So blue, green, Clive Jordan, Clive Jordan. Blue, green, Clive Jordan, we don't know. Okay, and Clark and Steve, Clark and Steve, Clark and Steve. Clark is wearing yellow. Clark is wearing yellow, and Steve is wearing blue. Okay, let me just confirm. Okay, so color Sen and Ken is not an issue at all. Clive's father we don't know. Name of the friend whose child is wearing. Oh, we know who's wearing the name of the friend. Name of the friend. This is wrong. This cannot be the answer. We know the name of the friend. It is Steve. Name of the child wearing the blue colored jacket. Blue colored jacket could be either Clive or Jordan, so not possible. Name of Steve's child, it could again be Clive or Jordan, so 3. Okay, 11 minutes. Oh, one more. Color of Richard's jacket. What is the color of Richard's jacket? Color of Richard's jacket will be brown. Okay. With the time available, 10 minutes. I do a LR set? I think I will skip the LR sets. I will go back to the couple of DI questions that I skipped, and I will do the remaining DI set also, because LR set is going to be a bigger risk as compared to anything else. I want to just make sure I go through those two questions which I think were doable. Which were question 40 and 42. Okay, let me just clean up this slide so that I. Okay, 40 and 42. Let me start doing both the questions again. If the revenue of Dabong increased by 25% over the year 1996, or over the year 2006 by 25%, so 100, 125. So Dabong revenue and expenditure. So we have 2006 and we have 2007. Okay. So revenue and expenditure is there. So the revenue of the bond increased by 25% over the year 2006. What is the percentage change in expenditure of the bond in the year 2007 over 2006? In expenditure. Excuse me. Okay. Revenue increased by 25%, and okay. And what was the bond? The bond is square, which is 25. This is 25. This is 30. Okay. Percentage increase and profit percentage was. Okay. So profit percentage 25% and 30%. Revenue of the bond in 2007 increased by 25% over the year 2006. So this was 100. This becomes 125. What is the approximate percentage change in expenditure of the bond in the year 2007 or 2006? So profit percentage is 25%. So margin will be 20% out here, and 330 by 130 into 100. So 300 by 30 by 130 is 300 by 13. Okay. Okay. So what is the approximate change in expenditure? So what is the approx? So expenditure will be 80% of 100, which is equal to 80. Okay, so it is 30 by 130. Let me put that 30 by 130 is the margin here. So expenditure should be 70 by 130. Yeah, 70 by 130. 100 by 130. How stupid of me. I think this is the mistake which I made. 100 by 130 of 125. Yeah. So 100. So 10 by 13 into 125 upon 80 minus 1 should be the answer. So 8. So 13 into 8 is 104. So 125 by 104, that is 21 by 104, which is 20% increase. How stupid. Question 40. Revenue of IB in 2007 was equal to expenditure of 7. So revenue and expenditure IB and Synthra 2007 and 2006. So if this is 100x is the revenue here, expenditure here, 100x should be the and the profit of IB in 2007 and Synthra in 2006. Let me just look at the profit margins. IB in 2007 is 40%. This profit percentage is 40%, and Synthra in 2006. Synthra triangle in 2006 is 20%. Okay. What was the expenditure of IB and the difference in profit? So that means margin is equal to margin will be equal to 80%, 20%, 20 by 120, which means 1 by 6, or expenditure will be equal to 5 by 6. Okay. 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 And expenditure of IB in 2007. 40, that means margin is 40 by 140, or expenditure is 100 by 140. Okay. The difference in profit is 24 crores. So difference in profit here is going to be 40 by 140 of 4 by 14 or 2 by 7 of 100x. So 2 by 7 of 100x minus 100x by 6. 20%. I hope that is fine, because if I get this wrong, I don't think I'll have another chance. 20% is the profit margin will be 20 by 120, 100 by 6. I was again making a mistake. So this should be 20% of x. So 20x. Because this is margin, this here I should be using profit is equal to. So 200 by it should be equal to 24. So 200x minus 140x should be equal to 24 into 7, 120, or 140 and 28, 168. So okay. So we have 60x equal to 168. Okay, 168. So x is equal to 168 upon 168 upon 60 into. I have got it wrong again. Let me just forget. Let me just leave this question. I making some stupid mistake somewhere. Obviously, I'm not able to avoid. Let me look at quickly some of these questions I will be able to do. Okay. Investment made by 32 investors was in the range of 9 to 20 lakhs. Lowest investment was 9 lakhs. Highest was of 22 lakhs. 9 to 22 lakhs. Okay. Okay. Lowest and highest. Mumbai project. If the investors who invested at least 36 lakhs in each of the 3 projects were gifted a car, then the number of investors who got a car, 36 lakhs in each of the projects, cannot be less than. So minimum is what we need. Gifted a car investors, and this is about all investors, Indian as well as NRI. Sorry, 36 lakhs. This is the range. This is the 31 to 48. Okay, so there could be, okay, and 11 to 35. None of them is 36 or above. Yeah. Okay, this is out. This is out. 92. This is out. This is okay. Now out here, I can say 31 to 48. I can assume minimum at least one person out here. Um, uh, out here in each of the three projects. Forgive data. That means I need to find how many people have invested at least 36 lakhs in each of the three projects. Okay, they can have one person out here. Now one out here. 36 to. Okay, so there has to be at least one person out here, and there has to be again at least one person out here. This again, all of them 34, all 34, all 32, all of them are more than, but these could be separate individuals also. There's no guarantee that these will be the same individuals. This need not be the same individuals as the ones here and one here. So it can, the minimum number can even be 0. What are the choices? Yeah, I will go with 0. Cannot be. Yes. Cannot be less than 0. Yeah, cannot be less than 0. Obviously it cannot be a negative number, but can it be 0? Minimum number who get a car, it's little strangely worded, but there's no, I'll take my chance. I'll mark it as 0. Okay, 44. Who invested at least for 50 lakhs in each of the, or at most, now this time we are talking about the maxima. This I believe. Let me just go question 45 and get over with this. Number of NRI investors who invested at least 50 lakhs in each of the three projects was at most. Maximum number who invested at least 50. So NRIs again. We are looking at NRIs who invested at least 50 lakhs in each of the three projects. Just confirm. 50 lakhs in each of the three projects was the maximum number, is what we are looking at, and that was yeah, 25, 43, 44, 52. So 25, 44, 43, 44, 50, 43, 44, 43, 44, 52. Okay. NRIs you invested at least 50 lakhs. Maximum is what we are looking for, or at most. Yeah. So there could be 20 NRIs who invested here. Uh, 26, all 32 here, 16 here. Okay. What about these? Now one here. So there could be maximum of 20 out here. One has to be at least at 36, 25 here. So that makes it 45, 30, 20, 50, 52 and 16, 68. So my answer has to be 45 or less. So this goes out. Okay. Minimum 50 lakhs. So I can have 25 out here and all 18, 43. I'll go with 43. So end of the section as far as I am concerned. Not a performance that I'm happy about. I think I wasted some time in those couple of questions, which were possibly easy questions. I should have been able to solve them completely. End of the story. Let me just save this video, and then I will start with the third section. Thank you very much. Hi, this is GP. I will be taking mock CAT 9 today. Mock CAT 9 is the first paper as per the new pattern announced by CAT. And just to remind you, the new pattern announced by IIM Ahmedabad for CAT 2015 says that quantitative aptitude will have 34 questions. DILR, this section will have 32 questions. And verbal ability as well plus reading comprehension will have 34 questions and a total of 100, which is the same as last year. But the big change now is that each section has 60 minutes, and that those 60 minutes have to be dedicated to that section alone, which means if you are able to save time in one of these sections, you cannot take it across to the other section. So it is 3 sections of 60 minutes each rather than 180 minutes given to you to spend the way you want to. Okay. The advantage of this kind of a pattern is that time management is no longer important. You don't have to worry about time management. This headache has been taken away from you. I'm sorry. Okay, and believe me, in a paper, this is the most difficult and the most interesting aspect. Fortunately or unfortunately, most of the students are unable to manage this part, which is why this new pattern, which has got dedicated time limit for each of the three sections, is a better paper for you. So time management is not there for you, but in the given amount of time for the section, you have to still ensure that you attempt all the easy questions and you do not waste your time in the difficult one. So easy questions to be attempted, difficult questions to be not attempted. There's a normal thing, but unfortunately when it comes to CAT and other competitive exams, we tend to forget this. Okay, and actually this is what you have done all your life in your school and college exams. Coming to the way I will take the paper, I have a timer with me. I've just switched on the timer. This timer will, once it reaches 1 hour, I'll start the first section, whatever it is, and at the beginning of every section I will reset the timer. Okay, so after first section I'll reset the timer, after second section again reset the timer, and so on and so forth. In addition to the timer, I have a calculator with me, because you're allowed a calculator, and in the platform in which I am taking, I cannot integrate the calculator. So since I can't integrate the calculator, I have a physical calculator with me. Yes, I know a physical calculator is easier to handle. A virtual is cumbersome. But you will not find me using the calculator much. I believe a calculator is a waste of time. Okay. Especially if it's an online calculator, and hence I'll be hardly using the physical calculator. The reason is simple. I believe CAT is not about calculation, it is about understanding the data. So that is where our focus should be. If in the few questions you need to calculate, yes, we will use the calculator if required. Second, I have the question paper with me also, printout of the question paper, because in the actual exam you have a button. If you click on the question paper button, the entire PDF of the question paper opens. You can look at all the questions together. I don't have that facility here, hence I have a printout of the question paper with me. Okay, so this is the way I will look at taking the paper, 3 sections, one after the other, and hopefully this will give you a guide as to how to tackle this kind of a paper also. So we'll hold on for some time and then we'll start the paper as soon as the timer hits the 1 hour. Okay, I'll be starting the paper. Do pardon me because I have a slightly sore throat, so you may find me coughing in the middle, so just ignore that part. Okay, let's start. First section, quant. Let me quickly look at the question paper. The first page has only quant questions, second page again. So there does not seem to be any surprise as far as the quant section is concerned. 34 questions. I can see a couple of graph and geometry questions, but by and large, now I look at the questions only. Okay, question 1. N equal to a to power 4 plus 4 to power a, where a is a natural number. For how many values of a is n a prime number? A equal to 1 will give me a prime number. It is equal to 1 plus 4, 5. A cannot be even. A has to be odd, but what odd numbers can it be? If I say 3, 5, there can be infinite cases. So I'll write down that this is a round 2 question. I'll come back to it later, because this means that this expression will have to be broken up and seen how to solve it. I'll look upon this later. Question 2. A fruit dealer fixes a selling price, a question of PLD, selling price, such a way that he ends up making a profit of 30% after paying tax, which is 13% of the cost price. Okay. A shopkeeper buys watermelon juice from the dealer and marks up the price by 15%. Okay, and then adds 25% water to juice. He then gives a discount of 4% on juice to his customer and thereby sells juice at 98.67 per liter. Okay, the final price is 98.67. What is the cost price per liter of watermelon juice for the fruit dealer? Okay, so from the dealer it went to a shopkeeper. Okay, let me start checking the choices, and as usual I'll start a choice which is in the middle of the range and easy to handle. So if I say the cost price or the price for the fruit dealer is 50 rupees. So 50 rupees is his price, then tax will be 13%, which is 6.5. Profit is 30%. 30% of 50, which is 15. So this is 71.5. Okay. The shopkeeper buys the watermelon from the and marks up. So 71.5. He marks it up by 15%. So into 1.15. And then adds 25% water. If he's added 25% water, that means made it 5 by 4 times. Okay, and then gives the, so effective price becomes 5 by 4. Okay, So into 5 by 4. And then gives a discount of 4% on juice to his customer. So then you have a discount of 4%, so into 0.96. Let's see. So 71.5 into, for this I would want to use the calculator. So let me pick up the calculator just to get the calculation in place. So 71.5 into 1.15 into 5 divided by 4 into, this is coming out to be 102.78 and into 0.96. Oh great. So this gives me 98.67. That means rupees 50 is satisfying. This should be the answer. Had I got a value which was, let's say, 95, I would have said my answer needs to be more. In this case, the answer has to be choice B only. Okay. Next question. Simple question of logs. This can be done by substitution. Okay. Log of 2 of x square plus 3x equal to log of x plus 3 base of log 2 plus 2. Okay. This can be written as log of 2 square base 2. Yeah. Okay, so effectively this becomes x square plus 3x should be equal to 2 into 2 square, 2 square into x plus 3 or 4. So x square plus 3x equal to 4x plus 12. So x square minus x minus 12 should be equal to 0. Let me just substitute the choices. X equal to 2 is not possible. 4, yeah, x equal to 2 is not possible. What about x equal to 4? 4 makes it 16. Minus 4 minus 12, 4 satisfies. That is fine. That means this cannot be the answer. So I need to check out if minus 3 is possible or not. Minus 3 means 9 plus 3 minus 12. This is 0. So 3. So the correct answer is to be choice D. Okay. Next question. In a right angle triangle with PQR, okay, geometry is round 2 for me. I am not happy. I don't like geometry very much. So I'll just come back to this question later on. But okay, question 5. Long question. On a landlocked country named Afghanistan, Janistan, there are 2 banks, B1, B2 on fixed deposit. B1 pays. Okay, question of SICI can be considered as a round 1 question for me. B1 pays simple interest of 10%, B2 pays interest in the form of compound interest compounded annually at the same rate. Okay, so both B1 and B2 are 10%. B1 is SI and B2 is compound interest. A man deposits 12,000 euros in B1 and withdraws the amount generated at the end of the year and deposits in B2. At the end of second year, he withdraws the amount from B2, deposits in B1. End of third year, he again withdraws the amount from B1, deposits in B2. He continues with this strategy. After a minimum of how many years will he get an amount which is more than 20,400 euros? So in B1 he will get simple interest. Then he transfers this to B2 where he will get compound interest, but 10% in the first year. Simple and compound are the same. So this becomes, so that means second year compounding. Third year this amount goes back again 10%. So effectively it is compound interest which is happening every year. Oh. So the final amount desired, or initially he has 12,000 into 1 plus rate of interest will be 10%. So 1.1 raised to power n should be equal to 20,400 euros. Let me just get rid of these zeros first. So 1.1 raised to power n should be equal to 204 upon 120. Now how much is this? 204 upon 120. This will be equal to 5 by 6. If I just do 5 by 6 of each, 204 into 5 by 6. 6 3s are 18, 24, 34. 34 into 5 is 70. So this is equal to 170 by 100, which is 1.7. So effectively, how many successive increments of 10% will be equal to 70%? So answer cannot be, has to be less than 7. So I need 7 successive increments of 10% will be more than 70%. So answer has to be less than 7. So answer should be 6 or 5. Let me just check out. 2 successive increments of 10%, I'm sorry, will be 21%. So 2 successive increments of 21% will be A plus B 41 plus 4 46. 2 successive increments. So 4 successive increments of 10% are 46.4%, and Then if I add another 10%, 56, 57, 58, no. Yeah, it has to be 2, so 21. So 4 plus 2, 6. Yeah, 6 should be the answer. Great. Question number 6. X, Y, Z belong to R. X is not 0, Y not 0, Z not. Which of the following statements is necessarily true? Okay. X is greater than Y. No, this will, if X is greater than 1, X and Y greater than 1, X and Y greater than 1 and X and Y less than 1, this equation will change. So this cannot be the answer. Statement 1 is out. So this is out. This is out. So the answer is either this or this. X is greater than Y and Z is 0. Yeah, statement 2 is correct. If X is greater than Y and Z is positive, then X upon Z will always be great. Yeah, statement 2 is correct. If both the equations of x square plus 4x plus c and x square plus 4x minus c have rational roots where c is a natural number, then the number of possible values of c are, okay, and the number of possible values of c. That means we are looking for a common roots for both of them. Yeah. Okay. I'm a little confused. I'll come back to this later. Let me not waste time. Let me just write down 7 as round 2 question. Looks an easy question, but that's okay. I'll come back to it later. One of the angles of a triangle is 60 degrees and the length of the other two sides are 6 and 7 centimeters. This is what is the length of the third side of the triangle. Has to be, okay, I'll do it in round 1. This is a question of sine rule or cosine rule. One of them has to be done. Okay, let me just look at this way. If this is a triangle, say this is 6 and this is 7, theta could be 60 degrees here, it could be here, or it could be any one of them could be theta 60 degrees. So which is why there are multiple answers possible. Okay, so if this is 60 degrees and this is x, or rather let me use the term a. So a square, using cosine rule, a square should be equal to 6 square plus 7 square minus 2 into 6 into 7 is 42 into 2 84 2 BC cos A, cos 60 0 half into 1 by 2, so which becomes 42 30. So 36 plus 49 minus 42, so 36 plus 7 is equal to 43. So a square is 43, that means a should be equal to under root of 43. So this cannot be the answer. The answer can be either C or A. This also cannot be the answer. In any case, 3 minus root 22 cannot. So 3 plus root 22 means 60. This angle should be either here or here. Okay, let's look at if the angle is here. Okay, if this is not the angle, if this is the angle, this is still A. Okay, in this case, what would happen is 6 square will be equal to A square plus 49. 6 square is equal to A square plus 49 minus 2 BC minus 14A by 2, so 7A. Okay, so this means, and this other case would be 7 square is equal to A square plus 36 minus 6A. Okay, I have to have 3 plus root 22. Okay, let's just check it out. So this would imply A square minus 7A is 46. 49 minus 36 will be 13 minus plus 13 equal to 0. Okay, and this will imply A square minus 6A, 36 minus 49 minus 13. Okay, so what will be the value? It will be minus B. This is unlikely to be, but let me just check out. This is going to be minus B is 7 plus minus under root of B square, 49 minus B square is 49 minus 4AC. This is not the possible. This is coming out to be negative. This is coming out to be negative, so this could not be the answer. What about this? Minus 6 minus, sorry, B minus B plus minus under root of B square minus 4AC. 36 4ac plus 52 upon 2a, so 2. So 36 plus 52 is 88. 88, yeah, 88. We are getting a 22 out of 22 by 4. Yeah, this should be the answer. Am I taking it? Yeah, in any case, this cannot be the. Let me just check 3. Okay, 88 means 4 into 22. 2 will get cancelled. Yeah, correct answer is choice C. X is the question 9. X is the smallest number that is divisible by about 6 and 5. Then the highest power of 10 that will completely divide the product of first 20 multiples of x. Highest power of 10. Smallest number that is completely, that means that is 30. 6 into 5. Highest power of 10 that will complete the product of first 20 multiples of x. First 20 multiplied 30 into 1 plus 30 into 2 plus 3. So this effectively will be 30 into 1 plus 2 plus up to 20. Product of first 30 into I am so stupid. Complete the product. So 30 into 1 into 30 into 2. Okay, so up to 30 into 30. So this will be, I can take 30 to power 20 as 30 will come 20 times into factorial 20. That will completely have product of. Okay, so answer has to be more than 20. So this goes out completely. Okay, so you have 20 out here. So what is the highest power of 5? So 20 by 5 is equal to 4. So another 4 will come. 4 by 5 is less than 1. So 24 should be the answer. Okay. Doku, please. These kind of questions I take time to solve. So I will leave this question for question 10. Question 10 is for round 2. But nevertheless, let me quickly read it. 1 to 4 as is shown below. Noted. Yeah. These are kind of questions which I take time to solve. Question 11. Vikram has certain number of gold coins with him. He wants to distribute these coins among his 3 sons and 3 daughters. He also wants to keep some coins with him. He keeps 1 coin with him and gives 1/4 of the remaining to his first son. Out of the remaining, he keeps 1 coin with him, again 1/5 to his second son. Does the same for his third son. Distributes the remaining coins among his daughters in the ratio of 23:46:55. Number of coins with Vikram could not be less than that. So the minimum number of coins should be more than this. Actually, it should be 23x, 46. But if I take x to be 1, 46 plus 23 is 69, 74, 124. So answer should be greater than 124. This cannot be the answer in any case. Okay, let's look at. Now let me look at checking the choice. And I'll start with as usual, the choice in the middle of the range. So if there were 246 coins initially, he keeps 1 for himself. And the balance 245 by 5 is what he distributes. So 245 is what he has to, and 1/5 of this is what he will distribute. So 1/5 of this will be 49. So 49 goes to the first son, and he is left with 195, 196. He again keeps 1 with him. He is left with 195, and these 195 he again gives 1/5 to his second son. So that becomes 39. 39 goes to the second son, and he is left with 195 minus 40 is 155, 156. He is left with 156. So again he keeps 1 with him, 155, and 1/5 of this, that is 31, goes to the third son. Okay, and how much is he left with? 124. Yeah, 124 is what we get out here. Also the sum of these is 124. So it satisfies completely. So the correct answer has to be choice A. Okay, this is my favorite kind of questions, but quickly let's look at it. ABC is an equilateral triangle. All circles inside are of the same radius. Each circle touches at least one side of the triangle, and other two circles are shown below. Radius of each circle is r unit. Find the area of the triangle. Let r be equal to 1. If r is 1, that means this is 246. This is 246. That means, so this is 6. This plus this should be, okay, let me say this is 1. If this is 1, this is less than 1, but definitely more than half. So I can say side should be greater than 7, and definitely less than 8, but definitely greater than 7 is possible. Now let me look at the choices. I have taken r equal to 1, so r is immaterial to me. This is equal to 9. Okay, what is the area of the triangle would be? The area will be greater than root 3 by 4 into 7 square, which is 49. Okay, 49. Okay, root 3 by 4 is 0.4243. This is what I have in any case remembered. 45, 43. Okay, 0.43 into 49. 7 square. Yeah. And there's where I would want, and it should be less than root 3 by 4 into 8 square, which is 64. Okay, which is 0.43 into 64. So answer has to be lie between 43% of 49 to 64. 43% of 49. 43%. This will be 43% of 100 is 43. 43% of 50 will be half of 43, which is 21.5. So answer has to be greater than 21.5. So this is wrong. Let me look at the other. 7 root 3. 7 into 1.7 is 11.9. 11.9 plus 6, 17.9. Incorrect. This is 12 plus 7 root 3. That is 9 plus 6 root 3. This is again 17 into 7 is 119. This is 11.9 plus 12. This is 23.9. This is more than this, so this we'll hold on this one. What's this? 6 into 1.7. 17 3 is 52. This is 10.4 plus 9. This is equal to 19.4. We need a value which is more than 21.5. Incorrect. This should be the correct answer. 9x square plus 42x plus 49. Then 9x square plus 42x plus 60. Okay, what of this correct? These are the same in both the cases. 49, 64. This is 15 less. Or this 15 more. This has to be less than 1. It has to be less than 1. But what if x is negative? Will it impact? No, there has to be less than 1. So less than 1 means these two are definitely wrong. Okay. Now, will it become negative? The issue is, will it become negative? Okay. Will it become negative? I can say this is nothing but numerator upon numerator plus 15. So if this is the numerator, or rather this is the numerator, the denominator numerator plus 15. So if n is negative, then I could have a negative value also. So okay, let me see. This is a 3x square, this is a 49. Both of them are perfect square. So let me see if I can convert this into a perfect square or not. 3x square is a perfect square, so 3x plus 7 whole square. What does it come? And then I have 42x, which I will have to adjust for. 3x a square plus b square plus 2ab. Oh, this is a perfect square. So this is nothing but a perfect square. So if this is perfect square, this will always be possible. So my answer cannot be negative. This is incorrect. This should be the correct answer. A to power 7 factorial plus b to power 8, c to power 9, d to power 10 factorial x, where a, b, c, d are natural numbers that are not multiples of 10. No idea. I'll leave this question. Question 14 is not to be attempted. I am not even marking it as round 2 item. Okay. Question 15. Group comprises 11 people, namely A1 to A11. The ages of 11 people in the same order in which their names are given are in AP. If the sum of the ages of 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11 is 72, what is the sum of the ages of 1, 6, 11? There's an AP. That means these are 1, 3, 5, 7. That means their average will be nothing but A6. A6 should be the average. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. 1 to 11, the minimum. These are in AP. Okay, the sum of these is 72. And the or sum is 72. That means the average will be equal to 72 by 6, which is equal to 12. So A6 is nothing but 12. And if A6 is 12, that means A1 plus A7 will add up to 12, A3 will, A9 will add up to 12, these will add up. What is the sum of A1, A6 and 11? A1 plus A11 will be 12 and this will be 12. Okay. Okay. Oh, what am I saying? Average is 12, that means each of them is different. So these two are, let me just erase this side. Okay, yeah. So average is A6 is 12, which is A6, so this is also 12. Now average is 12, that means A1 plus A11 will be 24. These two will be 24. So the answer has to be 36. Oh, stupid of me. 1, 11, 3, 24. 1 plus 11 is 24. 24, 24, 7. Yeah, 36. F of gx equal to g of fx equal to h of x. Which of the following is true? These are time consuming questions for me, so I am writing down this for round 2. Till now I have written question 1, 4. Till now what I have done is I have said question 1, question 4, 7, 10, 16. 7, 10, 16. These are round 2 questions, and one of the questions somewhere I have said I don't even want to come back to. Geometry. In the given figure below, PS is triangle of altitude PS of triangle PQR meets the circumcircle of triangle at T. Okay. If ST is equal to 3 centimeters and H is the orthocenter of the triangle PQR, what is the length of segment ST? PQR meets the circumcircle of triangle at T. If ST is equal to 3 centimeters, S3 T is 3 centimeters, H is the orthocenter. H is the orthocenter. If H is the orthocenter, should it be passing from? It has to be, yeah, it has to be 90 degree. That means H is not correctly placed. Actually, H should be somewhere like this. Okay, I'll come back and do it in round 2. I think I can do it using SQC by just measuring it. Though the choices look close, but I'll come back and look at this question later. 17 is round 2 question. So, our solution containing milk and water in the ratio of 3:5, 20% of the solution is taken out and replaced with milk. How many more times? Okay, how many more times should this process be repeated to make the ratio of milk to water in the final solution 17:8? We are replacing with milk, so we should work on the basis of water. So let us look at water to total. Milk and water. Initially water to total is 5/8, and finally milk to water to total is 8/25. So applying that standard formula of final should be equal to initial concentration, and 20% is taken out, that means 4/5 is left upon to 4/5, and this is done n times. So this becomes 4/5 raised to power 4/5 raised to power n should be equal to 8 8 is 64 upon 125, which is nothing but, so n, this implies then n equal to 3. N is equal to 3. So it is a question how many more times. So once it has been done, so answer should be 2. Does that mean? Let me just read the question again. It is taken out, replaced with how many more times. Okay, the question is how many more times. The answer should be 2. So answer out here has to be 2. Question 19th. 2n consecutive natural numbers. If n plus 1 numbers are randomly selected, what is the probability that the HCF is 1? So let me let n be equal to 1. N equal to 1 means the numbers are 2. So the numbers I have taken are 1 and 2. Okay, so there are 2n consecutive natural numbers. So n is 1, so I have taken 2 consecutive natural numbers. What is the probability their HCF is 1? The probability that the HCF is 1 is 100%. There's no, okay. So 1/2. Put n equal to 1 out here, this becomes 1/2, incorrect. Put n equal to 1, this also becomes 1/2, incorrect. This is equal to 1, so choice D is the answer. Which of the following graphs represents the function y equal to minimum of x square and mod of x minus 3? Y equal to minimum of x square and mod of x minus 3. It will be minimum of these two. Not my favorite area, but let's look at this. Y equal to x square is a parabola. It will go like this, and it will be, so this can be x square. This cannot be the answer. This is definitely incorrect. and this again. So it should have been like this. So D is this the answer? Let me just confirm it once again. Yeah, because y equal to x square has to be a parabola, only this one is showing me the parabola, so this has to be the answer. Okay. Question 21. In a relay race between two groups A and B, 5 people of each group and the speeds of each group members being different, Group A defeats Group B by 50 meters. If each member of Group B increases the speed by X%, then Group B defeats Group A by 125 meters. Speeds of the last runners of the Group A and B are 25 and 20 kilometers per hour respectively, and the time taken by Group A to complete the race is 4 minutes. I'll come back to this in round 2, question number 21, because time, speed, distance questions like this take me a little time, so I don't want to take a chance. Also, if you notice, there are a couple of choices which are reasonably close. Okay, 10 and 15 are not, but 11.75, 12.15, though I'll say the difference between them is 12%, but let's come back to this later. In an n-sided polygon, regular polygon, how many distinct values can the length of diagonals take? Okay, so n equal to 3, that means triangle. The length of the diagonal is equal to 0. There's only one length, one possible. So for n equal to 3, the answer should be 1. N equal to 3, answer should be 1. Sorry, 0 values can be taken, no value can be taken. Na? 0, because if I say it's n equal to 3, if I put n equal to 3, 3 minus 3 is 0, 3 minus 3, 3 minus 2, 1 by 2. Okay, let me just skip this, let me put n equal to 4. If n equal to 4, then it is only, okay, it's a square, so that doesn't matter. So there's only one possible value of diagonal. The number of values, we look, the values values of diagonal can be 1. So n equal to 4. So if I take 4 minus 3, for n equal to 4, choice A becomes 4 by 2, 2. 4 minus 3, 1 by 2. 4 minus 2 by 2, 1. So choice C is right for n equal to 4. It is coming out to be right. So we have either B or C also. Let me check out for odd number again, n equal to 5. Now the length of this diagonal and this diagonal will be the same, because this is alternate, these are regular polygons. So again, the number of values even in this case should be 1. So if I put n equal to 5 out here, so 5 minus 3, 2, 5 to the 10, 10 by 2, 5. Incorrect, this is incorrect. This is coming out incorrect both for 4 and 5. 5 minus 3, 2 by 2, 1. This is coming out correct for n equal to 5. And 5 minus 2, 3 by 2. So this is correct for even sided figure, and this is correct for odd sided figure. So the correct answer should be B or C. HCF of n4 is equal to 2, n is less than 6. Which of the following numbers does not divide 5 to power 4n minus 3 to power 2n? Which of the HCF of n and 4 has to be 2, and n is less than 6. Okay. Okay, there's a standard way. There's nothing but a square minus b square. So this can be a plus b into a minus b. So this will effectively be 5 to power 2n minus 3 to power n into 5 to power 2n plus 3 to power n. So 5 to power 2n and then, so this, hold on. N is less than 6. HCF of n and 4 is 2. That means n can only be 2. It cannot be 3, no, 4 and 4, no. N is equal to 2. N is equal to 2. So this becomes effectively 5 to power 4 minus 3 square into 5 to power 4 plus 3 square. So 5 into 5, 25 into 5 to power 4 is 125. 125 minus 9 is 116. And this is 125 plus 9, 134. Which of the following numbers does not divide this number? Okay. I'll need now any one of these is a multiple or not of this. Let me make my life a little more easier. So this again I can write it as 5 square minus 3. Okay, so let me just make it 5 square minus 3 into 5 square plus 3 into 134. That I can. Okay, so 25 minus 9 16, 25 plus 3 28 into 134. Which of the following does not divide? 7 will divide this. This is not the answer. 16 into 120 into 28. So 11, I can't see a multiple out here. 14 also not. 317 also. Does not divide 317. I will have to now use the calculator. So let me use the calculator. I am definitely missing out something, otherwise I would have got the answer, but let me use the calculator and then see. So if I do 16 into 28 into 134, I get equal to 60032. Okay, 60032 divided by 317, I get, okay, 60032 divided by 13. I'm not getting the answer. I'll just leave this question, come back to it later. Question number 23, I'll come back to this later. I'm writing that down for review later on. Okay. By the way, where's the timer gone? Let me just get the timer back. Just get the timer back. Just give me a minute. Okay. Yes. Okay, I was just messed out completely. Okay. Question 24. Raju, a rice dealer has packets of 10, 50, 100 and 1000 kg of rice with him. He has to deliver 1380 kg of rice. Cost price of rice is 1 rupee per kg. Transportation cost is rupees 8 per packet irrespective of packet weight. He delivers full packets only. What is the minimum cost price? Cost price and transportation, and he would incur in order to deliver this order. So he has to give 1380. Can he give extra also? Yes, if his total cost is less. So this is nothing but 1000 into 1 plus 100 into 3 plus 50 into 1 plus 10 into 3. So how many packets are these? 3, 3, 6 to 8 packets. So 8 packets will cost him 64 rupees. So 64 rupees for the packets in this case, and 1380 for the rice. So which is equal to 1444. But supposing he gives extra, supposing he gives 1000 into 1 plus 100 into 4, 1400. So this is 4 packets, 4 plus 1, 5 packets. 5 into 8 is 40. So his cost becomes 1440. 1440 is not there, so obviously this cannot be the answer. 1444. Is there any other way to look at? Can I get a 1380 in any other way? 1000, because no, the number 1000 into 1 plus 100, but he's got 20 extra, which is 2.5 packets, or rather which is 2.5 packets. So this should be the answer. Okay. Group of 5 men start painting the wall such a way that 3 additional men joined them on second day, 2 men left on the third day. Similarly, 3 additional men joined them on fourth day, 2 men left on the fifth day. Same process is repeated till the completion of the work. If the work was completely painted at 15 days, find the number of days 29 men working simultaneously will take to paint the wall completely. 29 men. Can this be the answer? Because this is divided by 29. This is... okay. Let's see. Okay. So initially there are 5 men. So initially there are 5 men. Next day 3 additional men. So next day it becomes 8. Next day 2 men leave them. 8 minus 2, 6. Next day 3, 9. Next day 2 leave again 7. So one, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. So I'm getting a pattern. Let me do a couple of more. 7 plus 3, 10. 10 minus 2, 8. 6, 7. I think I'm getting a pattern. 5, 6, 7, 8. Similarly, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so 8. Let me just complete it for 15 days. 8, 3, 11. 11 minus 2, 9. 9, 3, 12. 12 minus 2, 10. 10 plus 3, 13. 13 minus 2, 11. So 8. So this was day 7, day 8, day 9, day 10, day 11, day 12, day 13. 11 plus 3, 14. 14, 12. Okay, so what are these? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So sum of numbers from 5 to 12. Plus 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. 12 plus 5, 17. 6. So 12 plus 5, 17. 6 plus 11 will again be 17. 10 plus 7 is 17. Yeah. So 4 groups of 17. This will be 68. And what about this? Sum of numbers from 8 to 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 8 to 14. Sum of numbers from 8 to 14. How much will this be? 8 plus 14 is 22. 9 plus 13 is again 22. 12 plus 10 is 22. And I have 11 in the middle. Okay, 66 and 11, 77. So 77 plus 68, 71, 38, 145. So if 29 men have to be working simultaneously, number of days taken, there will be 145 by 29. The ball completely. So 29 into 5, 145. Okay. Okay. Sum of first 30 terms of an AP is 0. First term is 29. Oh, so that means first term has to be 29 and last term has to be again 29 plus 29. Now these are 30 terms, so if I put a 0 somewhere here, that means there should be 15 terms here and 15 terms here. That means minus 29, so it will have to be minus 1 and plus 1 also. Right. But the sum of last 15 terms, so common difference will be, should be 2. Let's look at this. Yeah, common difference should be 2. Minus 29 to plus 29, it is 58. 58. Yeah, common difference D should be 2, but so last 3 terms would be this plus 1. So 29, 27, 25, 27 into 3, 81. Okay. ABC is a 3-digit number, has 3 factors. How many factors of the number ABC are possible? ABC, there's a standard thing is to this means ABC, this is equal to ABC into 1001, which implies ABC into 13 into 11 into 7. There's a standard thing till now. So how many factors are possible? It will be a function of how many factors are here, because this is 2 into 2 into 2, 8 factors on account of this. Now the A or B. Now ABC can have, how many factors can it have? It's a 3-digit number, it has got 3 factors. Okay. So 8 into 3, 24 can be the answer, but I have either A or B also. Okay, so 24 can be the answer. This definitely goes out completely. Okay, so can it have 3? So ABC can have, what if 11 is, or 7 is a common factor, or 13 is a common factor? If one of these 3 factors, okay, one of these 3 factors can be 7 or 11 or 13 also. So if there's nothing common, 8 into 3, 24. If one of them is common, that means ABC either, then that becomes 13, 8 into 2, 16. Yeah, it should then be this. It can either be 16 or 24, because that means if one of them is common, this will become 2, because 7 has already been taken here. It should be 2. Yeah. In a triangle PQR circle touches the sides. Yeah. Effectively, if the radius of the circle is 4 units and the length of QT, RU and PS are consecutive integers, find the area. Round 2, question 28. On a planet named M, one day M 36 hours follows a 9 o'clock. In an hour there are 100 minutes and a minute there are 200 seconds. Moreover, hour hand and second hand move in clockwise while the minute hand moves in the anti-clockwise direction. How many times will the hour hand and minute hand meet in a day? Hour hand and minute hand. So who goes on clockwise and who goes anti-clockwise? Hour hand and second hand. So hour hand and second hand move clockwise while the minute hand moves in the anti-clockwise. Minute hand moves in the anti-clockwise direction. So this is like two people running in opposite direction on a circular track. Will the hour hand move and the minute hand meet? So we need not worry about second hand. So in 36 hours, in 9 hours rather, let's put it this way, in 9 hours, hour hand will take and minute hand will take 9 rounds. Hour hand will take 1 round, minute hand will take 9 rounds. So they will meet every 9 hours, they will meet 10 times, because every time they meet they have to complete one complete round. So 9 plus 1, 10. So in 9 hours they will meet 10 times. So in 36 hours, it's on a planet, how many times they have? In a day. In a day it should be 40. Okay. Find the sum of the infinite terms. This again, I'm sure all of us know how to do it. So 1 plus 1 by 3, 4 by 3 is 1.33. So this is 1, 1.33. This is 1. So this becomes 1, 2, 3.33. So this itself is 3.33. 7 by 2 is wrong. No, hold on. I'm sorry. 7 by 2 cannot be wrong as yet. I'll just hold it. This is wrong. This is 2.5. This is wrong. This is 3.5. So 16 by 7, 27. 16 by 27. This should be greater than 0.5. So 3.33 plus 0.5. My answer should be greater than 3.83. Yes, now I can say this is wrong. Correct answer. Figure given below, triangle ABC is a equilateral triangle of side 14. A semicircle taking BC as its diameter is drawn and it intersects AB at D and AC at E. Find the area of the shaded region. Area of the shaded region 14. Okay. Triangle is a semicircle taking BC as the diameter. That means this is the center. Okay, so this is 7. This is 7. Okay. Find the area of the shaded region. Yeah. So this is a circle. So this is 7. So this should also be 7. So this is a sector and this is 7, this is 7, this will also be 7. Equilateral triangle, so 60 degrees, so this 7. So that's okay. So this is area of sector minus area of triangle. So area of triangle is root 3 by 4 into side square, which is 49. And area of sector, 1/6 of, so pi r square by 6 pi into r square is 49 pi. And says 60 degrees, so 1/6 of the circle, so by 6. So it should be 49 by 6 pi. Is that fine? So what do we get? We can take 49 as common. Pi by 6 minus root 3 by 4. Pi r square. 60 degree. 3 by 4. These are 2. This and this, so into 2. We need to do into 2. Area of the shaded region will be this. So this becomes 49 into pi by 3 minus root 3 by 2. Root 3 by 2. Pi by 3. Okay, question 31 done. Question 32. 52a to the base b is equal to 169 base 11, where a and b are single-digit natural numbers and the difference between a and b is 2. Find the value of a plus b. Difference between a and b is 2, so which is greater? B has to be greater than a. Actually, b has to be greater than 5. find the value of a plus b. Difference between a and b is 2, so that means a plus b. Okay, that means a and b, if I look at this, in any case, can b be 6? If I look at this difference of 2, this will be 4 2. This cannot be the answer. This will be 5 and 3, cannot be the answer. 5 and 3. Yeah, b has to be greater than 5. B has to be greater than 5. So this means a will be 6 and b will be 4. This means a will be 8 and b will be 6. So let's check the choices. Okay. So 169 base 11 on, so this will become 524. What have I done? A has to be, B has to be greater. So this has to be B, this has to be A. This has to be B, this has to be A. 524 to base 6 and I have 169 base 11. Let's look at this. 4, 6 into 2, 12. 6 into 6, 36 into 5. 36 into 5 is 180. So this becomes 192, 196. What about this? This is 9. 11 into 6 is 66 and 11 square into 1 is 121. 9, 1, 10, 6, 16, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1. So this. 4 towns located in the same direction with respect to Sunil's house, namely ABCD, along a highway at distances of 10, 20, 35, 45 miles respectively. Sunil wants to set a shop to service these 4 towns. The demands from each town is found to be identical and no shop servicing them. Where should he set? So Sunil's house is somewhere here along the highway and at distances of 10. So if I say this is 10, this is where A is, 20, another 10 kilometers gone B, 35, so 15 kilometers to C, and 45, so 35 plus 10 D. So D. Where should he set the shop to? Minimize the cost of transportation. He has to minimize the cost of transportation, so his house does not matter. Okay, so when I look at this, within this region, he should. Let's look at the choices. Anywhere between A and B. If A and B, then this will suffer. A and B cannot. Anywhere between B and C. Yeah, between B and C, it's okay. You put somewhere here. These two are at town B again. No, B and C, no. Actually, if B is possible, then C is also possible. So I will go with this one. Sets. For the sets A and B, the following operation are A minus B, set of all elements of set A that are not elements of set B. A union B, set of all elements that appear either A or B or both A. In either A or B or both A and B. A intersection B is a set of elements that are common to both sets A and B. Okay. With the above definition of P, Q, R are 3 sets, then P minus Q minus R is equivalent to. Okay, so if I say so if this is P, this is Q, this is R, what we have is Q minus R. Q minus R, sets of Q that are not of sets of Q. That means sets of Q, elements of Q, which are not elements of R. Q minus R will be sets of Q which are not elements of R. So these two will come. This is element of R, this is also element of R. So these two are Q minus R. So P minus Q minus R. Okay. P minus Q minus R will be elements of P which are not elements of Q. Okay, let me just sorry. P minus Q minus R, elements of P that are not elements of Q minus R. So this is Q minus R. So that means this should be elements of. Is that fine? Let me just be sure about it. Elements of Q which are not elements of R. Elements of Q is here, not elements of R. That means these two go out. So these two remain. Yeah, this is fine. So P minus. Okay. Now let's look at P minus Q union intersection of P intersection R. Okay. So we have P, Q, R. P intersection R. P intersection R will be this much, and P minus Q will be elements of P which are not P minus Q, that means remove Q, this goes out, this goes out. Elements of P which are not elements of Q. So in this, elements of P which are not elements of Q would be this. But this, okay. So this looks union this. Okay, so this union this, yeah, union. Oh, there's a union out here. I was about to eliminate. So this becomes the answer. Yeah, this is fine. Let me just make sure once more. P intersection R will be this portion. This is fine. P minus Q will be only this one. So union will give me, this is fine. And out here also, so correct answer. Lucky I got it. Okay, so now let me quickly go back to the previous question so that I can solve some of them. I'll go backwards and pick. There are only about 7-8 minutes left, so I don't want to waste too much time. 28. Okay, in triangle PQR in circle touches sides QR, RP and PQ at TUS. Okay, let me just look at this. P, Q, R. QR at T, QRT, RP at U, and this is S. Radius of the incircle is 4 units. This is 4 units. And the length of QT, RU, QT, RU and PS are 3 consecutive integers. So if I say this is x minus 1 QT, RU will be x. Let me assume this to be x. And the third one is x plus 1. PS is x plus 1. Area of the triangle PQR. This looks like a lengthy thing. By the way, what will be the area of the circle? Area of the triangle will be more than area of circle. So area of circle will be pi r square, pi 16 pi, which is approximately, if I take pi, which is greater than 48 actually. So answer should be greater. Ah, very good. Answer has to be greater than 48. So let me go back. The previous one I'd left was 23 question number. Let me just quickly have a look at this, or do I do this, or do I leave this as the issue which I have to erase? Okay, it seems it has become permanent, so let me just come back to it later. So the following does not divide. Okay, 5 minutes left, so I'll tempted to do this, but let me just skip this one. Previous one was 21. 21 will take time. Let me quickly look at this. 50 meters. Each group increases speed by x meters. To complete is 4 minutes. Group A does it in 4 minutes, which is 240 seconds. I'll come back to it later. I think I can leave this one. This was question number 21. If I don't get anything, I'm circling it here. If I don't get anything, I'll come back to it. 17 and 16 is what I have to look at. 17 I'll skip. 16 I will skip. Then I have a 10, 7, 4, 1. 10. The game of Doku is played in an array using the natural numbers 1 to 4. Array is shown as below. According to the rules of the game, the number must be filled such that no digit repeats in a row or column. All 4 digits must be used in the square form C1, C12, C21 and C22 as well as those formed in these by C13, C14. Okay, C24. The maximum number of different Doku results that can be arrived without. So simplest thing would be I can put. Let's look at the first one. 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, 24. Then you have some answer should be multiple of 24. All are multiple of 24, but I'm sure I'll have more than one case out here. So if I put it this way, so without the pattern being repeated, so the same pattern cannot happen. Okay, so this also is incorrect. This will be a case of 24 into 24. So this is incorrect. So answer has to be 24 into 4 or 24 into 2. 3.5 minutes left. Let me just look at it. So 24. So if I look at this way, I can definitely put 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, 3, 1, 2, sorry, 3, 4, and I can also do 1, 3, 4. So at least 2 to I can see 24 into 2 into, yeah, I will go with this. So when I can make at least two, I've made at least two cases out here. So that means 24 into 2, 48 into 2, 24 into 4, 248. 48, more than 2 were possible. So 2 cases I've made here. Okay. So similarly, I could do it for others also. Yes, the answer has to be more than this. Question number 10 then. So 7, 4 and 1 are left. Both equations have rational roots where C is a natural number. What are the possible number values of C? If both have rational roots, that means D has to be greater than 0, which is B square minus 4AC. B square minus 4AC is 16 minus 4C out here, and B square minus 4C, 16 plus 4C, 16 plus 4C. Where C is a natural number, then the possible number values have a, both the equations have to have false. That means this has to be greater than 0. Have to have rational roots equal to 0, sorry, equal to 0. So 16 equal to 4C, or C equal to 4, this means, and 16 equal to minus 4C, so C equal to minus 4, where C is a natural number. So if I put C equal to 4, this will give me rational, this will not. So there's no common value of C which is coming out, so 0. Question number 7. This I don't know why I did not solve earlier. 1.5 minutes. So question number 4 and 1. So 4 I'll skip. 1. Okay, so I can go back. I have a 1 minute and a half. So let me see which is the other question. 1, 4, 7, 10 we have done already. 16, 17 is what I have to look at. Let's see if I can use that 1 minute, which is 16 I'll skip. 17 I will skip. 21, 23, 28. 21. Let me try and do this. So 1.5 minutes. What about 23 and 28? 23. Even if I use a calculator, I'll not be able to do it, but let me still try. So this is n is equal to 2. So this becomes 5 to power 8 minus 3 to power 8. So 5 to power 4 minus 3 to power 4 into 5 square plus 3. 5 to power 4 minus 3 square plus 3 square. So this becomes 5 square minus 3 into 5 square plus 3 into 5 square plus 3 square. I hope this is right. 5, 8 and 3. 5 to power 4 minus 3 to power 4. I don't think I'll have time. So let me just stop here. This completes my section 1. I will just close this section and then restart the paper again. I don't have sufficient time to do that. I think I missed a couple of easy questions out here, but let's close it here. Thank you very much. I'll stop the recording here. Okay, and I will restart the paper. I'll rather restart after I close this and do the other two sections. Thank you very much.